waiting for the break of day, searching for something to say, flashing lights against the sky, giving up, I close my eyes, sitting cross-legged on the floor, 25 or 6 to 4. Staring blindly into space, getting up to splash my face, wanting just to stay away, wondering how much I can take. Should I try to do some more? 25 or 6 to 4. Yeah. Feeling like I ought to sleep. Spinning room is sinking deep. Searching for something to say. Waiting for the break of day. Ooh, 25 or 6 to 4. 25 or 6 to 4. Oh, 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 oh. Can you hear me okay? Everybody hear me okay? Blookie. Okay, there we go. Oh, I'm just making sure the volume is okay. It might be a little timed out. Might be like 15 seconds. All right, well, we'll see what happens. Okay, hold on. Okay, good. You know, doing this like thing. I love it. You know, it's a lot of fun, but trying to make sure. I've had some mic problems lately, and I want to make sure that you all hear my lovely voice. You know that you can get the full thing of it. I don't even know what word I'm working for. I'm trying to be much better about not using awful words too. I've been I've had some conversations with people lately. It's like, hey, you know, maybe you shouldn't talk about boomers feeding their dick after they see a nice, pretty looking brunette. Or hey, but you know what? I can't help myself. That's the nice part about me. I just tell the truth. But anyway, welcome to the weekly Whitty review. Whitty news. I don't even know what I'm calling it. Your Saturday night with me at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If those of you that are watching right now, I'm sure you already subscribed, but make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe and like button. All right, and make sure you follow Indie Reporter. We're doing some good things, boys and girls. Amazing things. There's been more contributors, too. Some Annans have reached out to me on things that are happening in Indianapolis or even in Indiana, things that have been happening in the Statehouse. It's really exciting right now. I love it. All right, also, make sure that you're following R. Franco, all right? We need to get our boy some likes over here, some followers. He does some really good work with AI, and he goes after Jesse Brown. So you already know he's an ally. Also, if not, you guys all know that I cover Indianapolis and things that are happening inside the Statehouse. Brandon Shane from Beyond Formal, he covers not just Indiana, but also Northwest Indiana, kind of the areas that I don't touch. He also follows national politics. But the reason why we are here today, tonight, let me delete these. These are from, basically. We're talking about Natalie Goodwin and the whole GOP Marion County race, and it has gotten very exciting, especially lately. So I'm going to do this part real quick because some of you watch. Yeah, hey, I don't have any live either. That's why I'm doing a Saturday night show. So I want to do, we're going to talk about this, but then we're going to go back as a quick recap of how we got here. So some of you guys already have been around. So we know that Abdul is running cover for Natalie, because after Abu, hey, don't cry, Abu, all right? Hey, I know your lawsuit isn't going well, but don't tear up. I wouldn't cry. I also wouldn't sue people for no reason. Abu started going after John, heavy. Did not criticize Natalie whatsoever, and I have the proof, by the way. So over here, February 12th, when was that? Tuesday? Whenever it was? Wednesday? John Schmitz, who is running for Marion County Republican Party chairman, told me tonight that the cheat sheet was garbage. Not wrong, by the way. We don't blame him for hating our publication since it has more readers than he has followers. Oh, so this is the insecurity of Abu over here. Or anybody. He says, well, you don't have any followers. Sorry that you need to feel... The only way for you to feel better about yourself is having followers on social media, you pathetic clown. So then this one happened... Yeah, so you know how I always talk about boomers? And I said, hey, you know what? The brunette over here, it's like as long as she's being flirty with him and touching the elbow or the shoulder while they're talking with each other, you know, that's how it gets them going. And what happened? Exactly. She picked a boomer. It's so funny. Abu just proved my point. So anyway, because we're going to talk about that in a second, what he said, because it was actually very funny. But hold on. This was 9:51. Okay, so where is it? Okay, so Jim Banks endorsed Natalie Goodwin on February 13th, and I was like, and so what? You know, I will make some comments. There are some connections to why, but pretty much it's because John went on the John Rush show, and I had him on Mouthwash. But you know what? At the same time, Jim Banks, you could have went on the Mouthwash show. But you didn't. You didn't even show up for the debate. So if that's anything, and this is where I criticize everybody, left and right. If you're not going to show up for a debate, what the fuck are we even doing here? You know, we criticize the left all the time for not showing up, having our ideas on the soapbox into the open forum, but then I'm just not going to show up. I will never understand that, whether it was Diego, whether it was Banks. I'm pretty sure Shreve. Yeah, I think Shreve showed up, but we're going to talk about Shreve here too. Anyway, so... Micah, though, last night endorsed John, which is awesome, because now we're spade for spade, and now we got ourselves a show. Natalie has now picked her vice chair, which we'll talk about in a second. And also, John it got endorsed by Michael Beckwith. And then this morning, John Schmidt's reportedly threatening and blackmailing PCs to vote for him in the Marion County chairman race on March 1st. Anyone? More in the next in the cheat sheet. And this is just pure gossip column bullshit. We all know it was. And even Harold over here, you told us Diego was getting arrested. Plenty of time for that. Yeah, you literally told us between Thanksgiving and Christmas when you talked to Jim Merritt and Rob Kendall, which we talked about last month. Actually, it was last year, December, because I was calling bullshit on the Diego show. Then, so this was my point. I keep talking about it's like, let's call, if you are a true journalist, if you're a true nonpartisan or bipartisan person, you're just calling out the bullshit like yours truly, even though I do lean right, I'm going to call bullshit out on both sides. All of you that are watching this right now know that. I will criticize everybody. I'll give my own opinion on it too. But let's search Adi Abdul and then John. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, and I think that was it. And then this was back in November 5th when Abu was calling me and John. They're saying they're getting their asses kicked. No shit, we knew we were going to lose, you dumb fuck. And then I called him a fat midget. And then he blocked me. That was on the Whitty Review Twitter page before a bunch of assholes mass reported me, and I lost my Twitter page. Rip, but that's okay. All turned out for the best in the end. But then we look up Natalie, and what happens? There's only 2 of them. Jim Beggs endorsing Natalie, and then Natalie Goodwin, a former council candidate, is running for Indy GOP chair, which shows you the partisanship. So I said, if anybody talks to Abdul, ask him how much Limestone Strategies or Cam Savage is paying him, because obviously, Abu just wants to be invited to the party because he's such an insecure little shithead. And he's like, hey, you know what? I want to have scotch with the high-level elites. I want to have a cigar with all of them. Hey, if I protect all of you, maybe I'll get invited. I don't know, maybe. And then we'll just look at you as a clown because that's what you are. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. So if there's anything to trust, we have to look back at Abdul's past of how wrong he has been. For example, when Sharif and Hogsett went at it. If Hogsett, 56, 57. If Sharif, maybe 52, 51. But these are just guesstimates. All right. And we all know what happened with that. And then what happened, he had Sharif. Oh, where is it? I might be in a little bit. So remember when Rokita and Destiny were going at it, and Rokita at 44% and Wells at 41%. And then the same poll showed Donald Trump at 52 and Kamala Harris 42. I don't know if they were talking about, this is the funniest part. Mike Braun 41, Jennifer McCormick 39, and then Libertarian Donald Rainwater at 9%. 11% were undecided. All right, so how did that turn out? Oh, and he also talked about Diego and Destiny. Wells is beating Morales with the women voters. Oh, big deal. Oh, like we didn't know that. But anyway, he had basically predicted it was going to be a toss-up. And how did that turn out? Well, with the overkeyed on Destiny Wells, 58-41. With Diego and Destiny, was it 58? Yeah, 58-41 because there's a libertarian. But you could basically put half of that over into Republican side, but 54-40. Okay, so we already know that Abu is 0-3 just for that, just for those. All right. And then we had that was Hogsett Sharif, and then Destiny between Rokita and Diego, 0-3. And then here, working on a new cheat sheet this week, and why the likelihood of McCormick for governor becoming Indiana's next governor is looking a lot more likely. And I will tell you what, when I had my interview with that asshole, however, I was he didn't promise me anything, but I knew basically I was going to get 20 minutes to a half an hour with talking to him. I ended up getting 8 minutes because he had some court shit. And then he's like, oh, we got to make this real quick because I'm going to go interview the governor. Like, I gave a fuck. And then when we were leaving, he was like, oh yeah, I could totally see McCormick winning. And I was like, really? He's like, don't be surprised. I'm like, what kind of fucking universe are you living in? And how did that turn out, huh? 54-41? And what did he say before? Yeah, more, it's looking a lot likely. And this was at the time when Rob and Abdul were beefing because of the whole Micah thing. All right, so that's basically what happened this week. As don't trust Abu, he's an idiot, a big shithead, obviously. All right, so let's do a quick recap of what's going on. Natalie Goodwin, who ran for city council against Nick Roberts, the 23-year-old twink who lives with his parents and has no full-time job, beat her by what, 800 votes, something like that. And Natalie, who I heard that at the Perry Township GOP meeting, she was bragging about how she raised so much money. Oh, I raised the most money is what I heard. It wasn't the most money, maybe for Republicans. And guess what? You still lost, even with all that money. And how much did she raise? Almost $127,000, allegedly. And here was the funny part. Some of you might be saying, like I said on Tuesday, oh my God, you're doxing her. What are you doing? And that's actually a P.O. box, all right? Which I didn't know that you could do. I have seen people do it, but it was after they already gave their original CFA 1, CFA 4, where you have to prove that you live in a district. And funny enough, right before the show started, I found out a few things. When the Marion County, Leadership Committee, I found out whose address that is. I know where it goes to now. I'm going to wait until Tuesday, though, to announce it because I was asked to. So no biggie here. All right, so I don't know why this is on here. There was, hopefully it's this one, because I saw something the other day and I was like, that's weird, and I made a point to screenshot it. Okay, so there was a Wolarski, what the fuck is her name? The lady that died in a car crash like 2 years ago. Somehow she donated to Natalie Goodwin a year after she died. So whoever's running the campaign for that, the campaign account, it's a little bit rough. But my whole point on this whole thing is that winning in Marion County is really hard. We looked at like the Ryan Mears and Joe Hogsett stuff. Ryan Mears, obviously, this was the interesting part. 223,000 people showed up for that election. During the mayor's race, only 164,000 people. Look how many people voted for Cindy Carrasco, 90,000 people. And if those same people had voted for Shreve, it would have only been by 7,000, and Shreve wouldn't have looked like a big dope. Mostly because he had that awful gun control that he wanted to do. He bent the knee to the liberals, basically, and said, hey, yeah, you know what? We got to bring back gun registration for concealed carry. Hey, no more AR-15s. We also got to increase the age for people to buy a gun, if I remember. I think it was 18 to 21, which is so funny because you can go to war at 18, but you can't buy a gun at 21. All right. You know what, Sharif, don't worry. I got plenty of ammo to talk shit about you here in a little bit. All right, so that shows Ryan Mears can win a countywide race, which most likely, if he gets past the primary, then he's basically mayor. That's a big problem. Let's see here. Oh, is that it? Yeah, I heard it. All right, this is my favorite part. This is the best part. Hold on. Go. Yoop. All right, he wrote, this was in the cheat sheet from the other day. If that wasn't enough, Schmidt's ally, Stephen Witter, who not only did he spell my first name wrong, but he spelled my last name wrong because he's a big dumb dipshit, made some somewhat derogatory sexist remarks on an internet program. Hey, Abu, look at me, Abu. That's Whitty Reviews. You get it right. It's not some internet program. That's Whitty Reviews. Spell it right. Anyway. Asking his audience if they would smash or pass Goodwin. Listen. Smash or pass, all right? I don't care. Smash or pass, boys, because I'm saying pass. Expired. I'm going to sit. Now that you say it, I'm going to do it more. Just saying. Anyway, he also made some somewhat obscene gestures when referring to Goodwin and old men. Team Schmidt says that reached out to the comments and we will let you know if they do. All right, well, first off, I don't care. Yeah, smash or pass, boys. Or girls. I don't care, all right? If you get upset by that, I made it a point about the whole boomer thing, and then because that's the whole point. I saw it when I ran for election for city council. When Julie Calvert-Watts was running against me, guess who were the majority of the people that were voting for twats, boomer guys, all right? Because they're easily manipulated. It's very sad, actually. Every time, you know what I should do? If I run for election again, I'm gonna have a bracelet on there that says, "What would Whitty do?" So next time you think about using the wrong head to vote, just look down and look at your hand, and it's like, oh my God, Whitty would say, "Stop it! Vote for the most common sense candidate," which would be yours truly, obviously. Sure, I might hurt your feelings every now and then, but listen, I do it in the name of love. So anyway, that's why we're gonna. So I have another one we're gonna talk about, but here's the interesting part. She works for a venture capitalist firm. She also was the director of operations for Friends of Todd Young for 2 years, and also scheduler for Susan Brooks, which is why I have it up here. Which is why Suzanne Brooks was here donating her money too for the candidate kickoff. That's why. So honestly, already establishment. All right, this is gonna go deep. I went through so many rabbit holes today that I was lucky to take a shower, basically. All right, so there's that. Oh, all right, am I done with the other one? Okay. Also, Indy Chamber endorsed her, and she was the only one. Indy Chamber has a really good rate of picking people. She was the only one that lost. Because, I mean, honestly, who would have voted for some 23-year-old who lives with his parents and has no full-time job? He has like mama and papa for some gas money so he can get to the city county building. How sad. People are so dumb. It's unbelievable. Yeah, what would Whitty do is right. I might even, get a tattoo. Put the tattoo on the wrist. What would Whitty do? He would ask, smash or pass. All right. Before they really clip this whole thing. All right, so obviously Suzanne Brooks helped her out, but here is the thing that I wanted to show you. Where is it? Have it? Wait a minute, I thought I had it. Oh, gotta be kidding. Hold on. All right, so here it is. This is like the main thing that we all have to pay attention to. Okay, you can see me. Gotta be kidding me. That's fine. There we go. So, Natalie Goodwin, running for Marion County GOP Chair. Nick Goodwin is her husband, who is a healthcare lobbyist. I'm going to show more of this stuff, but I just want to get like the overall picture real quick. Megan Savage was her treasurer, also worked for Suzanne Brooks. Megan Savage is married to Cam Savage. Cam Savage works for Limestone, or he owns Limestone Strategies. Limestone Strategies, which we'll show here in a little bit, helped out Jefferson Shreve. That is the key. And Todd Young, and Todd Houston, and Chris Garten. They're not really involved, but it's mostly Jefferson Shreve that we have to focus on. And Todd Young. All right, so, and then Shreve, which I'll show you the connection with Bullhorn Communications, the main goal is the prosecutor's election and the mayor election. That is the goal, because next year is the prosecutor's election. The following year is the mayor's election. I think Carrasco raised like, I'm probably wrong, but I think it's like $8 million. And then, no, not $8 million, $800,000. And then Mears raised like, 666. That's right. El Diablo, the El Diablo number. That's what he did. All right, but I will bring this up again. All right, so there we go. Suzanne Brooks. Do I still have it? I didn't delete it, did I? I don't think I did. I don't know. Hold on. 1 second. Download? 1 second. Yeah, there it is. Haha, I knew I had it. Boom. Boom. We got the boom. All right, so Megan Savage right here, right? Yep. Okay, so Megan Savage right here worked for Heritage Group, vice president, actually. Worked for Suzanne Brooks for 8 years. Recently went to somewhere else. Also have Cloverleaf AI. Never really looked into that, but there's the connection. Suzanne Brooks. Remember, this is important. Suzanne Brooks. Todd Young. Important. Right there. Important. All right. This is where the connections really start happening. All right. So we also have to look at right there, Megan Savage, too. I took her address off because I'm not doxing anybody. And pay attention to the signature. It's very, very important on this whole thing. Yeah, okay. So pay attention to that signature. We're going to talk about a little bit. Okay, so Megan Savage gave her $1,000. Genevieve, which I found out isn't that big of a deal. That's why I took it off. Kyle Walker gave her money. Michael Paul Hart gave her money, which I thought was interesting because Michael Paul Hart was running for re-election. And everybody that's run for re-election or done any kind of campaigning realizes that you need every single penny to get you across the finish line. Also, Steve Collier, former Lawrence mayor, the Oorah Pack. All right, so who is the Oorah Pack? I'll show you. Hopefully, I left the tab open, but that's Todd Young's pack. Okay, so here's the part that pisses me off the most. Right here, Indiana Republican State Committee gave her almost $22,000 in money. What the shit? That's all I want to know. What the crap? I couldn't even get a hold of HRCC for me. But this lady, and this is how you know how corrupt people are or how they are establishment, is when they get almost $22,000 in campaign donations from the party. Also, Brad Chambers gave her money. Kyle Pierce, who's a current state legislator. And also Tim Sadiq. I won't even get into that. And Jennifer Hollowell from Hollowell Consulting. Also, back when the election or when the election season was happening, Allie Bartlett, can you see that? Yeah. Nate Roberts had put out some negative mailers about her, and then Natalie did a video explaining, like, why are you doing this? She was just having a kid at the time too, I think, or just had a kid. So it was really a dick move by Nick Roberts for sure. That little weasel. Also found out maybe if anybody's out there is listening, we got to find his brother. His brother, I think, is a Republican, possibly a hardcore Republican. Imagine this: we have brother versus brother for his re-election. I mean, come on, boys. This is what it's all about. Recruit. So anyway, all of those who forgot about Allie Bartlett. Allie Bartlett works for Bose Public Affairs. Allie Bartlett helped out my Democrat opponent, Justin Moed. Allie Bartlett, by the way, is an elected Republican precinct committee woman. She should be expelled out of the party for helping out a Democrat. And by the way, she also told me face to face that she was helping Justin Moed. I also have a picture that somebody took with her, Victoria Wilburn, the person that sent the Capitol Police after me, and like 2 other Democrat legislators. All right, so what else we got? All right, so as you can see for here, director of government affairs. Remember how many times I've said if you have the word government affairs in your title, you're a lobbyist. That's what it is. And all lobbyists are snakes. They're vultures. They belong in the crystal. So here we go. Cam Savage. He has quite the resume for Dan Coates, Todd Rokita, IDE. Mitch Daniels, Scadrell, I don't know who that is. Nancy Naples, don't know who that is either. Also, wasn't he a body man? Did I take that off? A body man. I don't know. Indiana Secretary of State for Rokita. Also, he helped the Eric Doden campaign. Got a bunch of money from them. I think like $60,000. Not bad, boys. But here's the most important part, which is the Shreve campaign, which is the part that oh, there it is. There's Body Man. Oh, that was Nick Goodwin. That's who I saw. Nick Goodwin, Body Man. So many jokes that you can make out of that. I mean, I'm just saying. All right. Limestone Strategies. This is where we start going into it. Camp Savage. Limestone Strategies on the very bottom. If you go to limestone-strategies.com, that's where you go and check it out. There's the data. I've always said, if I can't find actual proof, I will tell you that I can't. But these are our players here for Limestone Strategies. Cam Savage, Kevin Ober, Leanne Putz, and Kate D. Turk. Apparently, these two, so originally, like 2 weeks ago, this website wasn't even up. It was totally dead. They came out with a new website, and now we got new people, Leanne Putz and Kate D. Turk. So it was originally just Savage and Ober. They hired these two. Funny enough, though, and how long ago did they vote? Like a week ago, basically. Very interesting timing, I might add. And then someone told me that those two were at the township meetings. which tells me that, and they're doing video and taking notes on when she was speaking, which tells me what? She is not a very good speaker. I also heard that she's awful at being on Prop 2. She was not answering questions at the Perry Township GOP meeting. Not directly, either not directly or not at all. So if you see these two at the Township GOP meetings, they're helping Natalie Goodwin. These are the lobbyists, consulting people, not lobbyists. Well, they could be lobbyists, but let's just take a quick gander. So Catherine DeTurk worked for Rogers for Senate. Also, press for Nikki Haley. Don't worry though, we found out that Cam Savage is not a fan of Trump, which I'll show you here in a little bit. But press secretary for Rogers for Senate, our old pal Liam Putz. He was also deputy political director for Rogers for Senate and director of campaign and client services for Limestone. And she's just the communications director. So anyway, Cam Savage, that's who we're really looking at right now. Cam Savage, you can check out his Twitter if you want, go for it. But you know who he is a big fan of? Greg Doyle, that creep that was going after Caitlin Clark. Yeah, I don't know if people in Indiana realized just how lucky we are to have Greg Doyle writing for us and telling these stories for us every week. So, right off the bat, he likes some very interesting people. Moving on, though, here we go. This is kind of like maybe a soft punch. Tremendous burgers, some of the best burgers. Many people are saying. They said to me, the frat guys, they said to me, no one has ever flipped burgers this strongly before. Trump, probably. It could be just having fun with it, but don't worry, there's more. And, I was going to tweet something profound about Trump and Palin, but the Evansville Aces are on national TV right now. Does seem like, all right, maybe you don't like him after all, but let's just keep going. Smart, scary, an intellectual history of the voters most likely to support Donald Trump. This was in November of 2015. And also, as new shocking videos of Capitol riot emerges, imperative members see these and understand what happened. I sense they don't have the proper and perspective because they were locked in a bunker. To my staffer friends, make sure your bosses see this. So obviously, he's all like, oh my God, it was an insurrection. What do we do? Oh, it surely wasn't the feds planting everything. It surely wasn't Pelosi helping out with this whole thing. Oh, who would have guessed, huh? So, if that's not all, though, Vice President Pence's nephew announced today the formation of its overtly MAGA K Street lobbying firm and noted Jan 6 timing highlights. The false narrative from the left about the day is Uncle, Dad, and cousins scurrying to safety to chance of hang Mike Pence. It's so funny. These people are so fucking soft. Oh my God, he had a hangman's tool, or the hangman's thing. It's like, we're gonna hang Mike Pence. Are we sure those weren't feds, by the way? Because we know one of them was Antifa, and remember that Antifa guy was on CNN talking about what was going on. If I remember right, CNN paid him. But anyway, this was probably the big one. Opinion: bad leadership is a national security threat. And he's going, yes, 1,000 times yes, right off the bat. I mean, for real. What gum is that? What gum did I just? This is really minty. But yeah, right here. It's like bad leadership, national security threat. Yes, 1,000 times yes. And so automatically saying that they don't want Trump in there. This was April 18th before the primary. My guess is that his money was on Nikki Haley, if I had to guess, or Ron, but who knows? All right, so here's the best one. Here's the best one. Don't know why Stuart Stevens engages with these clowns, but some Trump troll wants to know if he had read Art of the Deal. Some Trump troll wanted to know. Who is Stuart Stevens? Oh, principal of Resolute Square, senior advisor to Project Lincoln. If you remember Project Lincoln, author, also a huge never Trumper. Also, he was Mitt Romney's corrupt campaign manager in 2012, allegedly. But here is the best part. Stuart Stevens is a member of John Weaver's Lincoln Project. Weaver used his resources to make Weaver, by the way, was making sexual advances online to underage boys. Only until his reporter, Stevens and the Lincoln Project defended Weaver, saying, oh, no, he's obviously not trying to rape little boys, not trying to get him come on over. We don't want Pete Handsome in the kitchen saying me, what's going on here? These are the people that he's looking up to, by the way. This guy who's protecting a possible pedophile, Greg Doyle, the creep, and then obviously a never Trumper. So right off the bat, we have to realize that the guy who is working with Shreve, working with Todd Young, most likely working with Natalie Goodwin, are all anti-Trump people. They're establishment folks that would want to have Pence and Nikki Haley in office. Those are the idols, looking at the evidence from here. All right, so Limestone Strategies. We can hear Shreve for Congress, Hoochin, which the URA PAC, Bice, Friends of Todd Young. Here was the weird part. I don't even know if I want to go into this part because it really doesn't mean anything. This was just something that I noticed that was a little weird. All right, so if we go and look at the Big Ideas Create Excellence PAC, we have Kevin Broghammer. And I tried finding this Kevin Broghammer guy, and this is what I found. He founded Broghammer Strategy Group, but if you go and do his LinkedIn ID, or his LinkedIn, I mean, that's him, right? That's him. That's him, right? Just saying. He does not have it in his LinkedIn that he has Broghammer Strategies. In fact, he's just doing some accounting for some Bush, some Anheuser-Busch, maybe a little bit of Bud Light. And then Bice for Congress. It wasn't right. But Shreve for Congress. Kevin Broghammer, right here, was the committee's email address. That guy who does the strategy stuff. And then same thing for Friends of Todd Young was Broghammer. And this guy was Mike Cross. That didn't matter. Where's the other guy? Jeff guy. And for some reason, I don't know. It's not really that big of a deal, honestly. I just thought it was really weird. Like, how come these guys are saying that they do this work, but according to their LinkedIn, they're just dealing with booze? I thought was just unusual. That's all I was pointing out. There's like, maybe it was in the URA PAC. Is that what it was? I want to make sure that I'm right. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there it is. I knew it. All right. Yeah, the leadership PAC sponsor, Todd Christopher Young. Yeah, Jeff Westlick. But somehow, like, the only Jeff Westlick I could find, it was for the president, co-founder, Cardinal Sparich, which it has to do with, it is in Bloomington, Indiana, and I'm pretty sure I saw his name on a bill. But anyway, all right, so, there it was. Yeah, Mir spent that much. Roscoe, I was right, $838,000. And then the whole, okay, this is where I was getting to. All right, so where is it? Right there. All right, so remember with this whole thing? What did I say? Natalie Goodwin, running for Marion County GOP Chair. Treasurer is Megan Savage, who worked with Suzanne Brooks. Her husband is Nick Goodwin, a healthcare lobbyist. Megan Savage is married to Cam Savage from Limestone Strategies. And then Limestone Strategies was helping Jefferson Shreve and Todd Young and these two people. And the main goal is the prosecutor's election and the mayor's election. Because we're going to get to Bullhorn Communications here in a second. Don't you worry, boys. Old Daddy Whitty's connecting some dots right now. And this needs to be talked about. Because this is the whole plan. The whole plan is this right here. Carrasco raised over $838,000. And you know all those consulting firms are just like licking their fingers, licking their chops. They want to eat them W's. But that's not really the whole story. Hogsett, $6.4 million. And who's their golden boy? Shreve, with over $14.5 million that he spent on this campaign. By the way, that he lost 60-40. Maybe if you're on a fucking dope, and it's like, hey, you know what I should really do? Do a gun plan. You know, it's so funny, too, which we're going to talk about here in a second. I've been trying to find it. If you remember during the primary, Mike Speedy had a commercial where he was, like, in this hunting outfit, which is very cringe, by the way, Speedy. And then Jefferson Shreve had a commercial, like, mocking it. It's like, oh, actually, that, that thing's supposed to be on the left. Oh, what is that? A hunter's jacket? More like something from Cabela's. You know, I'm just paraphrasing that kind of stuff. I'm like, Shreve, you were trying to take guns away from people, okay? You bent the knee to the left. You're a fucking coward, all right? We don't need those people in the party. You're just a guy that has a lot of money that wants to be in these powerful positions. And I wouldn't be surprised, and because we know he'll probably win his re-election next year. But I would not be surprised if he's trying to buy Todd Young's seat right now, because it would all line up. Todd Young doesn't run for re-election in 28. Shreve would be working on a third re-election. Then here comes Carrasco, who's making some big names for herself in the Senate. She's a very grouchy woman, by the way. Also, she's been hanging around with pictures with Natalie. Won't take any pictures with John. A lot of pictures with Shreve and Carrasco, though, I've been noticing. You got to notice these things, boys. But this is the money pot. This is what they want. They want that money. That's the whole point of Goodwin winning Marion County GOP. This is basically establishment versus grassroots. This is just like Micah running against Julie McGuire. We had Trump. Remember, Trump endorsed Julie McGuire. I'm sure and obviously it was probably like he's friends with Mike Braun. He's like, hey, Mr. Trump, President Trump, can you sign this for me? Really just trying to get my lieutenant governor an endorsement from you. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I did a bad Trump voice. But, just signed it. And that's what I'm expecting from Banks. It was either that or he's pissed off at John going on John Rush show, which, to be fair, like I don't know, it's just petty to me, but I'm also not in those kind of positions. But I understand where Banks is coming from. But he also never met John. And John is just that kind of guy where he's friendly to everybody. And John was, it's like when you have been deplatformed. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's something to Jesse. I'm sure we'll find something to Jesse eventually. If we go through like the 10 ways that Kevin Bacon, basically. So, but my point is that this is a totally an establishment op to try and get consulting dollars, because we know that they're not going to put up a good candidate for prosecutor or mayor, which if they don't, I have an idea. And they need to be called out constantly. But this is my point on this whole thing. And this is basically like McGuire versus Beckwith, which we'll talk about here in a second. Where is it? Oh, yeah, that's the other thing, too, I want to talk about. Okay, so you guys understand it, right? You guys get it? Right? High five, right? Okay, cool. Because we got to talk about one more thing. This is where we go a little bit schizo land. Where is it? Boom. Okay. Hey, what the crap? Oh, wait a minute. That's on me. Hold on. Where is it? Boom, there we go. All right, so I pointed this out last Tuesday. I said, this is really weird. Where's my camera? There we go. All right, I'm going to take myself off for a second. Hold on. Woo! All right, so this is where it gets a little bit weird. Focus on this part right here. Well, whatever. We can go down those reads if we want to. Wait a minute, I still have it, right? Somewhere. I'll find it. All right, so January 7th, these were we pointed out to the election board that she did not have a 2024 annual report. And, coming from a person who's been fined before from the election board, maybe not for Indy, but definitely the state, it's kind of annoying. And they'll fine you up to $1,000. I think it's like $50 a day. I forgot exactly how much it is. But anyway, so we put it in there, and then it said, the actual election board was like, oh, actually, we goofed up. We actually had this whole thing. And then they kept making amendments. And I was like, this is really weird. Why are they doing amendments? So on Tuesday's show, I pointed this out. Not just the signatures, which the signatures are a little bit weird. Hold on. Yeah, not just that the signature is really weird, but this. They said on February 7th that was turned in, but it was filed on January 7th. And we know that looking at this whole thing, that these are rolling numbers. So they can just change it anytime they want. You're supposed to put the date on when this whole thing happened. And the signatures aren't even the same. Not even close to the same. Right? January 7th it was filed, but you put it that it was actually on the February 7th. So on Tuesday, after I did that show, the next day I go back on there, and I don't know if I still have it. Probably not. But you know, like when you click on a link, it'll show blue, and then when you got the link, it'll turn it purple. Well, there were I think there were 3 or 4 new links that were blue. Like you have not clicked on them before. And I was like, this is weird. So what happened? That's what happened, boys and girls. They changed the date. They rolled it differently. To me, this is an argument for fraud. Like the election board is in on this whole thing. I mean, does this not look like fraud to you? And I'm going to talk about this on Tuesday again. But now, and you can even look at the signature. It's the same signature. All of it is the same signature, but the filing date is wrong. And these are the top 4. Yeah. Oh, there it is. These are the top 4 that were changed. There you go. So these were the top 4 that were changed. They were blue when I went back at it the next day, and I was like, that's kind of weird. But look all the amendments that they had. There's one of them that is just completely ridiculous. Like, how do you fuck this up so bad? Adam Stewart. Okay, yeah, here, look. Adam Stewart. Oh, damn it. That's not the one. They had one of them. They were like, they put in the same one like 4 times in a row. Yeah. Yeah. So the very last page is supposed to be expenditures, but somehow this one. Yeah. Then the last one they had contributions by individuals. I don't know who goofed this whole thing up. I mean, her treasurer is an absolute dope. I can't figure this whole thing out. Like, I'm just a regular guy, and I figured this whole thing out. Like, it's not hard at all. But does this not look like fraud to you? For real? I'm just saying, like, this is really weird. Like, the filing date was different. The signatures are the same, but the filing is different. I'm really glad that I screenshotted all of this stuff, because there's no way that anybody would have believed me if I didn't. This is why I do what I do. This is why you come to Whitty Reviews for great journalism, investigation, whatever you want to call it, from yours truly, your old pal Whitty. So it's not just that, though. We're gonna talk. Let's talk about. Yeah. So this were the original screenshot that I took, and then I just changed it. And here's the other thing that people aren't remembering, or maybe may not know. The county chair is in charge of appointing people for the election board and voter registration. If John becomes county chair, we can prove this. We can 1,000% prove that there was fraud. And you know what that happens? People are getting arrested. We will find the corruption inside city government. Because if John becomes county chair, we will find the corruption in the election board and the voter registration board. And I guarantee you, if John becomes GOP chair, we have a real chance of winning back Marion County. Does that not give you the goosebumps right now? Does that not raise the hairs in the back of your neck right now, knowing that we could go in there Doge style and fucking take back Marion County? Because I guarantee you something else is going on there, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. That's my whole point. Like, something's going on here. And let me see if I could find it again. Okay, so remember how I talked about the signature? This is her original signature. Natalie Goodwin. That's crazy to me. But then you have that? Really? That? Did that? Really? Kind of weird, right? I'm just saying. Oh, hold on. It's that. And then that. Very weird. That's all I'm saying. Like, those are not Natalie Goodwin signatures, in my humble opinion. And you see again, January 7th. But then they put it completed on 2/7/2025. They know they fucked up. And if it was not for people like us, and by the way, this was not me. I did not send in the I debated on sending in the request because I knew the election board wasn't going to do anything about it. So if you're in the chat right now, go ahead and tell who asked the election board about it, because I don't want people to know, in case you want to make sure, because there's a lot of crazy people out there. I should know. Well, I'm saying because the Democrats sent Capitol Police after me, and then the fucking energy lobbies after me next, and then Bose McKinney Evans will be after me next after I expose more of this whole Thomas Cook thing. But I have to wait until after March because it has to do with it's a left and right thing. But anyway, okay, I'm getting off track here. Okay, so are we good now? We kind of understand what's going on, right? We understand of how important this is. We understand like the game that's being played right now. If John does not win county chair, they get away with everything. Just like if Julie McGuire had won lieutenant governor, they get away with everything. Because look at Micah. He's pressuring Republicans right now for this whole property tax thing. He's going under. You would never see Julie McGuire do that. And by the way, Julie McGuire is obviously voting for Natalie. Most of Perry Township is voting for Natalie. They're very corrupt over there. Same thing with people in Decatur Township. I'm convinced most of them are voting for Natalie Goodwin because they're establishment types. All right, so we got this, right? We got this. We understand the game. This is the game. Now we're going to talk about Bullhorn Communications because this is where things get really, really fun. All right, we good on here? I think we're good on here, right? Okay. All right. So we did. Oh, say so. This is why this whole Abu thing is important too, because now we know Abu has not criticized Natalie whatsoever, whether it's about the campaign finance stuff, which that's kind of like its own thing, its own like special niche thing. Like you would have to explain it to normies, and they won't get it. But they have not criticized Natalie at all for losing to Nick Roberts, even though she raised a whole bunch of money, which we know that Abu is on her side, obviously. All right, so you know how I talked about Bullhorn Communications, and I talked about the Shreve. Yeah, there we go. I want to watch a couple of commercials with Shreve. These are actually kind of funny, all right? It's only 30 seconds.
Mike Speedy talks tough on the border.
Okay, so this was Bullhorn Communications. This was obviously an anti-Speedy commercial. So Mike Speedy, I'm telling you right now, if you want to get back at Shreve, you will endorse John Schmitz. Because we know Shreve is on the side of Natalie Goodwin.
Mike Speedy talks tough on the border, but what's a better measure of the man? What he says or what he's done? Did you know Speedy forced you to pay tuition for illegals? That's right, he spent your tax dollars on college degrees for illegal immigrants, and Speedy gave them driver's licenses too. He can pose on the border for the camera, but on the record, he chose illegals, not us. On immigration, Mike Speedy sold us out.
I'm Jefferson Shreve, and I approve this message.
I'm Jefferson Shreve, and I approve this. Don't expect a handshake from him, though. All right, so then this is the next one. The True Conservative, by the way. By the way, is this not the funniest thing ever? We got to watch it, though.
What's it mean to put America first? Ask Jeff.
Okay. I had to stop it right here. This is the moment that he was announcing his public safety plan, which included the gun plan. And back here is Whitley Yates, which I think is hilarious. She needs to be ousted from the party, too. Listen, if you're going to have some DEI lady for the Republican Party, make sure it's like a big booty Latina. Because you can win the Hispanics and the black vote over to Republicans. Guaranteed. But anyway, so this was the time where Shreve was up on the podium talking about his public safety plan and how, we're going to have gun control reform. Really? The true conservative, right? My ass.
Jefferson Shreve. Build an honest business. Employ neighbors and put your name on the line for them. Defend the sanctity of human life. Spend only what's needed. Finish the wall. Fix our border. Back our police with conviction. Owe nothing and no one but God above. And defy anyone who'd sell out this country. That's Jefferson Shreve. For law, order, and a secure border.
I'm Jefferson Shreve. I approve this message.
I approve this message. Cute dog, though. For real, cute dog. So anyway, the true conservative who wanted to take your guns away, by the way, and I think he wanted to raise the age. I if anybody has it, put the link in the description for whatever that gun control plan was. I had it, but then I lost it. All right, so. But what does a true conservative do, huh? How strong is a true conservative of Jefferson Shreve? How will he truly fight for us? Well, he is already taking it to the USPS right now. I heard dozens of constituents who have had critical passages stuck at the Indianapolis distribution hub. Hoosiers across the state has been affected by these delays since December. I led the Indiana delegation in demanding answers from USPS on their inconsistent service to taxpayers. So basically, he wrote a strong-worded letter. It's like, hey, can you tell me what's going on here? Hey, we really need to know what's going on here. I'm sure a strong-worded email, many mass texting over to the leaders at USPS. Hey, good job, Congressman. Go get them, all right? Well done. Hey, I'm glad that you got a re-election happening next year. I mean, but you got so much money, and there's so many boomers out there. There's so many boomers out there that'll still pick you because they don't know any better, because they're not in Marion County. You know what, though? Now that I think about it, if I get time, I should really go look into see how many people in Marion County voted for Shreve. All right, so here we go, boys. Here we go. This is where we get to the meat and potatoes, as they would say. Indy GOP puts out the Republican of the Week, of course. And I noticed this. I noticed last year of how they won't put any grassroots people in Republican of the Week. And what I found out is that you have to give the party $35,000. If you do not give them $35,000, you do not become Republican of the Week, which is a damn shame. I think so. But our Reagan and Gamache, whatever her name is, avocado dip, who fucking knows? Hey, boys, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say. Smash or pass. Eat shit, Abu. Smash or pass. Anyway, pass. So we also, oh, that was the gun control thing. Yeah. Okay. So Tyler, you are okay. It was that then. Okay. I wasn't sure on the 18 to 21 part, but yeah, he wanted to ban assault weapons, whatever his opinion was to that. So this was part of it. I'm not going to play it. Abu, though, did have him on his Indie Politics talking about his public safety plan. How long is it? 20? Yeah, we're not listening. Garbage. Yeah, he gives everybody else at least 20 minutes, and I can't even get 10. Fuck that guy. So anyway, Bullhorn Communications. Who is the team? Ryan Horn, Eric Colin, Grace Brown, and oh, who's that? Reagan Gamache. That's interesting. Let's look at the founding partner. Really not too much on this guy, even though he was a senior manager of public affairs for Walmart. So he was a lobbyist for Walmart? That's kind of wild. Kind of cool, though, too. But also wild. All right, not much there. However, Eric Colin, knock it off. Eric Colin, the managing partner over here, he's a Wisconsin native. He worked for Todd Young. Oh my God, the connections are still happening. So weird. What else we got here? Grace Leahy. Is that her name, really? Leahy Brown? How do you pronounce that? Leahy? Leaha? Anyway, not much here, obviously. Project manager, Heritage Foundation was the only thing, but she was an intern for 4 months. But Reagan Gamache, look at that, deputy finance director for Todd Young. Wait a minute, and digital director for Shreve. Wait a minute, are there more connections going on here? Is everything just so fake and lame? Well, I will tell you what, that is 100% true. Everything is fake and lame. I would choose different wording, but I already have enough heat on me. I won't say anymore. But so we have the managing partner who was part of the Todd Young campaign and also the production manager at Bullhorn who worked for Shreve and Todd Young. Who else? Was there anybody else on there? Part of the Fadness for Fishers too. Kelly for Indiana. Who's that? Pacers and Republicans. Hathaway Strategies, and worked for Anne Hathaway. I mean, this chick is just screaming of establishment. So we got the connection, boys and girls. It's happening right in front of us. I'm showing you the proof right now. You can't deny any of it. How many times have I said? And I know Abu is going to talk about this in the cheat sheet. Fuck that fat midget. This is all handshakes and hand jobs. All right, 100%. This is how things get done. This is why they want Natalie Goodwin in there. Think of all the money that if that Bullhorn Communications. Actually, do I still have it? Where is it? I'm missing it. Oh, is that it? Yeah. Okay. Boom. There it is. Bullhorn Communications. Shreve, John Bolton. Yes, that John Bolton. Shreve. Brubaker. Shreve. But look how much money Shreve spent. Look, he dropped one for $586,000, $230,000. Shreve right here for $722,000. So he spent well over $1 million just on Bullhorn Communications. How crazy is that? So there's the connection to that. Our Republican of the week, where'd she go? Old Reagan Gamache. Calls Rocky Ripple home. And by the way, Broad Ripple was the place where Shreve had his office, I think, when he was running for mayor. But don't worry, boys. It gets a little bit more fun than that. Who is that? David Taylor. David Taylor, who is the vice president. Oh, God, I know I don't have it anymore, do I? Hold on. Do I? There it is. Yep, I do. Haha. David Taylor, right there, who is the vice chair for Natalie Goodwin, also endorsed Jefferson Shreve, Perry Township GOP chairman and Perry Township constable. How crazy is that? The connections. What have I said? The connections. Okay, so here gets a little bit more fun. So Shreve obviously endorsed Julie McGuire too. I thought there was another one. She's there. Get the point. Julie McGuire, obviously endorsed for Julie McGuire. Great being among friends and neighbors at Perry Township GOP. So we know that. Okay, so before I bring that up. So now that we know, there's pictures with Carrasco too with Shreve, and pictures with Natalie Goodwin. So we know Carrasco is going to be helping, is part of the Goodwin campaign. Maybe not helping, but definitely voting for her. Shreve is obviously helping out, is going to be helping out Natalie Goodwin. Then we also have Julie McGuire. I think Shreve endorsed basically Julie McGuire because they're all establishment. But here's the best part. Not that one. I don't know who that is. And then that lady right there. You know who that is? This is how astroturfed everything. This is how fake everything is. The pictures are like, hey, I'm talking to you right there. And then Savannah's trying to lock eyes with the Asperger's Shreve over here. And obviously he doesn't even look like he's looking at her. That is the current president of Reliable Energy. Reliable Energy is a lobbyist firm for Halliday, Halliday Coal and some other coal company, whatever it is. Who gives a shit? But anyway, she was part of the Shreve campaign. Don't worry. Oh, look, another picture with Shreve and something. Knock it off. Another picture with Shreve. Oh, that's mighty interesting. Oh, look, there's another picture with Shreve. What is going on here? Not even in the Shreve campaign. By the way, this was August of 2024. Hold on, let me in there. Yeah, you see all the tabs that I have right now? Yeah, that's a lot of fucking tabs. Glad I'm only doing this for just under an hour. And Jim Sullivan. Well, maybe if you're look at this dumbass. Well, maybe if your cronies at Project 25, they want to eliminate the wording climate change from the federal government and cut off funding. All right, yeah, shut the fuck up, Jimmy J. Anyway, who is Savannah Kernstein? Savannah, you need to update your LinkedIn, okay? She's got quite the resume, I might add. Press secretary intern for Indiana Senate, worked at government affairs intern for Catalyst, U.S. representative for, oh, who's that? Suzanne Brooks? Oh, wait a minute. We have some connections again with Suzanne Brooks. We got the Todd Young. So we got the Shreve. And let's see. Then she worked at Catalyst for a little bit. Catalyst and Bose McKinney Evans or Bose Public Affairs are basically the two main lobbyist groups in Indiana They are probably going to try and black bag me now after exposing all of this. Hey, so if I get swatted tonight, that's what's going on. But also Vice President of Communications for Reliable Energy. Okay, but it shows that she's president. And by the way, like 2 weeks ago, I made it a point to say, hey, Savannah, you were vice president before because John Ford, who was appointed by Mike Braun for some secretary of bullshit, energy or whatever. But you haven't updated in like a month. You got to update the website, Savannah. I'm not even going to look. I don't care. So they updated it finally. They finally took my advice, even though, hey, Savannah, can you unblock Indie Reporter from the Reliable Energy? You know what? I'm just gonna post it. Actually, I'm just gonna show it. This is unbelievably rude, by the way. So fucking rude from Savannah and her team of establishment misfits. You really just do me a favor, all right? Listen, I will promise to answer your phone call if you actually unblock Indie Reporter. Look, this is so fucking rude. Look, she blocked me. I mean, what are we doing here, Savannah? This is just rude. Listen, all right, Savannah, I promise I will answer the phone if you leave a message. Oh, hold on. Wait. Before we go on, hold on. Smash or pass. Are you happy now, Savannah? All right. Well, you're still getting a pass. All right. No, thank you. Totally expired, by the way. Unbelievably expired. Oh, yeah, that one. That lady didn't mean anything. I found out there was no. Yeah. Upon return to Indiana, Vice President of Communications most recently served as Deputy Campaign Manager for Jefferson Shreve. Savannah's backgrounds are both state and federal government, along with local campaign experience. Okay, so what exactly does she do? Does she know about energy? Anything? No, she doesn't know shit. She majored in communications and minored in public relations and political science. So she is the president of a energy lobbying firm, and she doesn't know the first fucking thing about energy. And listen, we all know what the shotties out here for. We know what the tasties are here for. They're just there to get the boomers all hard. Listen, we're not on the Chateau de Mars Hill network right now. We're on the Whitty Reviews network. And I can say whatever the fuck I want. And these are the old guys that just want to punch their dick when they see Savannah. She's going to flirt with them a little bit, maybe get them a little bit boozed up so they can just buy whatever and do whatever. I'm not saying she's doing anything. She's, just batting the eyes and just being nice. And remember, all these people will be nice to you, all right? Do not fall for it. People like Savannah, people like Allie Bartlett, people like Natalie Goodwin, they're all vultures. They're all snakes. They don't give a shit about you. I mean, I have a hard time believing that someone like Natalie Goodwin, who has since disappeared after she lost her election, hasn't done shit for Marion County or anything for the GOP, and all of a sudden that she's picked by Elsner, most likely, to run as GOP county chair, Marion County chair. I mean, what are we even talking about here? This is just the biggest clusterfuck that you could even believe in, that I could even believe. But I'm going to be, obviously I'm going to be talking about this more on Tuesday. How do I shift D? Oh, there it is. Yep. Okay, cool. Let's see. Save that. Tabs. Dude, I literally have like 100 tabs. It's unbelievable. Do you see that? Do you see all this crap? You know how hard it is to organize any of this stuff? Of course you do. This is called weaponized autism. This is what I love. This is why I love talking to all of you right now. Drew, I know you'd smash. Most of you will smash. Not me, though. I refuse to smash, all right? Those are that's damaged goods, without a doubt. I've heard this story. I've also met her a few times. She's told me the stories. So true. So anyway, that's what I have for that. Any questions? Any questions so far? I know some of you are watching right now. Okay, so does it all make sense? Hold on, let me bring up the thing. We'll talk about that on Tuesday. How I found out who. I also found out who the Marion County Leadership Committee is. I'm not talking about that. I just found out a little bit ago. I'm not going to talk about it though. No way. Did I really? I guess I did. And there it goes. So what is the key, folks? What is the key, boys and girls? You guys are understanding now what the play is. We're all figuring it out in real time. Who are the players? Now, let's go back over this one more time. I'm going to drill this into your brain. Yo, Corey's in the house. Let's go. Oh, really? Chrome has a new AI tab organized. If you don't mind someone offshore reviewing tabs. Yeah, you know, I already know if that people are watching my stuff. That's why I had to put one of my cell phones in the microwave. True story, by the way. True story. I actually have like a giant microwave. What's that? I actually have like a giant microwave that if anything happens, then I just throw in it and just like it's the boom box is what I call it. Everything's already in there. I just close the door, hit the switch, and everything just sets on fire. It's like some Mission Impossible stuff. It's so good. So funny. But anyway, all right, okay, so what do we got here? What do we know? Natalie Goodwin is running for Marion County GOP Chair. Well, most likely was pushed up by Joe Elsner because he probably had a pretty good idea that he was going to lose or he wants to go do something else. So Natalie Goodwin is married to Nick Goodwin, who is a healthcare lobbyist. He was also the body man for Dan Coates. Ooh. Natalie Goodwin was married to treasurer is Megan Savage. Megan Savage is married to Cam Savage. Cam Savage runs Limestone Strategies. What does Limestone Strategy do? They're consulting. Who do they help? Jefferson Shreve, Todd Young. Those are the two players. The two main players. Bullhorn Communications, Jefferson Shreve gave well over $1 million. Oh, we're getting to that after this. Promise. So then Bullhorn Communications. So the plan is for Limestone Strategies and Bullhorn Communications to do the prosecutor's election and the mayor election. That is the goal. It only took me just over an hour to bring this all up, but we finally got back to where it was supposed to be. That is the goal. It's all money. So let me get the video prepped. Let me get this video going for the schizophrenic. That's what we're all here for. Yeah. Oh yeah. Jim Banks endorsed. Yeah. There are connections to Jim Banks to Natalie Goodwin too. Nothing that important though. Yeah, schizophrenic. All right. Whoo, boy, that was a big one. Was it good for you, huh? Was it good for you? I don't even have my candy cigarettes with me right now, too. Right. Gotta light it right in the eye. All right. So what do you guys want to do? Japanese guy with schizophrenia cooks a miso soup or cooks? Okay, so there's two of them. The shorter one. All right. Which one do you want to do? Do you want to do one or two? Do you want to do the top one or the bottom one? I'll wait. I didn't goon at all. No, I don't goon. I finish. I don't hold that in. I don't hold the poison in. It's bad for your health. This guy has a bunch of them. All right. Let's go with the top one. Which oh yeah, let's go with the top one. That has the most views. This I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know what
Sticker Mule makes it easy to buy custom roll labels in any shape and quantity. It only takes a few seconds to order,
Fucking
and every
commercials.
purchase comes with a free online proof.
All right, so I don't know what to expect here. Just let you know, I don't know what to expect.
Hello everybody, today
Hi,
I
Ro.
will show you my cooking, and so sorry for my sweaty face because I just come back from the library, and so anyway, today I will introduce a miso soup using sweet potato and Japanese spinach and tofu and of course miso paste.
Oh,
It is very simple, and also it is very good for our digestive
Our bottom.
organs. Yeah, it's very healthy. So let's get started. So I have ingredients using for this cooking, and I bought them at the supermarket, and all of them are super cheap, and it is good for my living with tight budget. And so if you try to live in Japan with tight budget, and this cooking is very useful for your living. And so anyway, I will introduce some ingredients for this cooking. And so
Jim Banks had a workshop?
the first one,
Hold on. Jim Banks had a workshop and I wasn't invited? What's this all about, huh, Jim? Hold on. Hey, Jim. What we got here? This one, if you have a lady in there with blue hair, that's an op. That's a Democrat op. Why couldn't I see? Oh, I reckon there's a few. See, this is why people have a hard time trusting people like Jim Banks or any of the establishment. Purely because, like, the normies aren't allowed to go to this stuff. Like, does anybody understand this is why we don't trust people like Jim Banks, Todd Young, and Shreve? Because the grassroots people aren't allowed to this kind of stuff. This is how you get a Micah Beckwith. It's because we're tired of not being allowed to not even just enjoy, but being allowed to go to things like that. It's really disappointing, but what are you going to do? Actually, do you want... I'm not going. I'll do it.
is this. This is a Japanese vegetable, and the name is Japanese spinach. And yeah, and the Japanese name is komatsuna. This is komatsuna, and so this is good for our immune system, and this vegetable adjusts our immune system, and good ingredient, and very healthy, and so this is very cheap. Do you see? 98 yen.
How much is that?
98 yen. 98 yen.
90 yen?
Around probably 70 cents in the US dollars. This is 70 cents.
Yeah. Actually,
And yeah, it's very volume.
Can you imagine even getting that for
of
70
course,
cents anywhere? I mean, that's pretty incredible, right? I mean, we don't know what it's laced with. Maybe it's got like laced with MSG or something, but yeah, you should totally. Yeah, are you good? If Corey's good with cooking, I'd totally watch that.
If I boil this vegetable, and this vegetable shrink, but yeah, it's very volume. 17 cents and good for
Normies.
our...
Yeah, so the normies are people like us, the people like me, people like John. Micah is in that like transition phase right now where he's becoming a normie-ish to establishment, most likely. We'll see what happens though. But I thought he endorsed John, so if that tells you anything.
immune system.
All right, I'm gonna stop pausing
The
it.
next one is very simple.
Tofu?
This is tofu, a pack of tofu.
Tofu.
And
We like
yeah,
that tofu.
of course, tofu is made by tofu is made from soybeans, and soybeans
Oop.
is good for our digestive organs, and yeah, soybeans adjust our stomach, and this tofu is kind of a rough taste of tofu. Rough taste. This is rough taste of tofu.
He's
Not
trying,
kind
all
of
right.
a
He's trying.
Smooth taste, because
Smooth.
I prefer taking smooth one rather than rough one. But today I just mistake taking buying this tofu. This is rough taste one. this is tofu, and this is around probably $1. No. This is also 17 cents in the US dollars.
What?
And so you see, it's very volumey.
Boryomi.
Very volumey. And so if I boil this tofu, but this tofu doesn't shrink.
No shrinky
And,
tofu?
This tofu keep this form. If
I kind of feel like I'm listening to like a South Park episode right now.
boiled it, and so
Good call.
and,
Yeah.
taste is a little bit rough, but I love it. And this is tofu, $17, and so these are
Radish?
protagonist of this cooking, and this is our
It's a red cucumber.
sweet potato. These are
Oh,
sweet
the sweet-
potato. Three pieces of potato.
Are you gonna start cooking or what, bro?
And the price is around
Okay.
probably price is around $1. And the 3 pieces of sweet potato are $1
Sweet
in the
potato.
US dollar, and very cheap. But I don't use all of them, but I just use 1.5 of sweet potato, and
Sweet
yeah,
potato.
I just use small quantity, and because this is also very volumey, and it's very good for my appetite, and yeah,
When I hummy
I
in
can
my tummy,
satisfy
I have that sweet potato.
my appetite with this ingredient, very cheap, and so
You should get cooking.
that's all. And I use only this ingredient, very simple, very small, and so
Yeah. Give me
I'm
more sweet
enjoying
potatoes.
this cooking, and so now October 5.
Wait, when was
Still
this video?
hot. It is very
Hold on, when was this video? Oh, it's October 8th. When did it
crazy,
expire?
and so you see, I'm wearing very light tofu, but this
Okay, hold on. So this tofu was gonna expire in 5 days, according to the date that the video came in. But he couldn't have edited. I don't know. Whatever.
very crazy, and so you see, I'm wearing very light t-shirts like summer, and I'm now wearing half pants.
Half pants.
This time is like summer because outside is very hot, like summer.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so anyway, but my kitchen is a little bit cool, and so in the summer kitchen is very
Yeah,
hot.
I know.
Kitchen is
I
hot.
know.
But now
I'm on
kitchen
it. I'm
is
on it.
relatively comfortable. So let's get started.
Maybe it's at the end where they start freaking out. That's why I said I wasn't sure what to expect. He's not like, the voices, they're telling me to cut myself or anything like that. They're saying I need more sweet potatoes. I don't know, maybe it gets better. I kind of want to watch a couple of shorts on schizophrenia, though. What do you think? It could get good, yeah. What's in the back? Is that for doilies or a cloth? Got a nice pillow, a cool pillow. Okay. Any stool. Hey, all right. All right, we're gonna skip. What the fuck? I don't think anything happens. I don't think anything happens. Just saying. Right. Gotta find a real schizophrenic. Feels like clickbait. What are the comments? What are the comments saying? Yeah, not sure what I expected when I recommended your video. When I was recommending your video. Tofu. Alright. I don't know, that does look pretty good though. What do you think?
So I finished cooking schizophrenic meal. This is our miso soup using sweet potato
Oh,
and the tofu.
You don't
and,
say.
Japanese spinach.
you don't
Very
say.
healthy. And,
Okay.
This is good for our digestive organs, and of course, and this meal adjusts our immune system. Very good. We can adjust our blood pressure, and I want to call it.
Yeah, I
healthy
guess
food.
so. I was hoping for something a little bit more special. All right, this one's 14 years. Hold on.
健康食品 in Japanese. I don't
All
know.
right, so let's do that. Hold on, real quick. Let's watch this real quick. Oh,
Oh, hi there. It's Ian. We're cooking with Compton. Welcome to my home. Yes, we're gonna come. Crispy chicken breast strips. And mashed potatoes. This is my assistant Cody. We're making mashed potatoes here. Oh God, Cody.
what the crap is going on right now?
Is the oil ready?
Oh.
Calm down!
Oh boy.
Now the oil's ready. Oh, now. Hello. What? Oh God, they're talking to me again, Cody. They're talking to me again. The chicken doesn't talk.
This is more like it, boys.
Goodbye, my friend. I'm sorry. Don't you agree?
This.
Okay.
He does this regularly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
These are happy potatoes.
Be right back after this commercial. Right.
I'm bored.
Me too. I have a new toy.
What? Get out of town.
It's a doll. And a monkey. It's a doll monkey.
Oh, B, let me see it. Me too. Let me see it.
Here! How did you do that? You're crazy. I don't want to buy this.
And now Miss Monkey for half off. You like it?
We're back in the chicken zone, and now they hate me. How are the potatoes coming?
They're going fine.
How are the potatoes going? They're doing fine, Grandma.
Welcome to the Saturday night for weekly Woody reviews.
What just hit me? You want some chicken? You can't handle the chicken. Stop it! You're killing that!
Yeah. Dude, it's like
I've been cooking with Ian. I'm so happy you could have joined.
we still have just under a minute.
Who's that flame smoking? So freaking unprofessional. I quit. Screw this. Freaking monkeys everywhere. Do this no more.
How old is this?
Ian.
2010? Jeez. That's crazy.
Should have went to law school.
Yeah.
All right, boy, that felt like the longest. I don't know about you. That was a really long 3 minutes, though. All right, I know. Kind of wild. All right, so you guys want to talk about some e-girl drama? So apparently, crap happened. So apparently, Elon Musk got some e-girl prego. Oh, I know what I want. Oh, hold on. I know what I wanted to bring up. There was some... All right, so we got to go back to from the other day. So she says 5 months ago, this got 38.1 million views, which is, when I checked it last night, it was only at 2. So 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, all these people are like, what the fuck is going on here? And they're all like, oh, that explains why Ashley Clare was astroturfed, why she was supported, or why, yeah. How she was able to get so many followers. So somebody made this screenshot. I think it was Milo. Yeah, Ashley St. Clair plotted for half a decade to ensnare Elon Musk. It's like Greg Price. He's got a kid with a woman already. Seems unlikely it'll work out. And she says, well, he actually has 7 kids and goes through women pretty fast. And Elon goes, whoa. And then she goes, hey, it's interesting that Elon is responding to this clearly in jest screenshot that was discussed with his team months ago in a documented call. Now he decides to respond to it publicly from an account that posted underage photos of me as if he wasn't asking me to have more children last week. I would like to take this offline for every child's sake. So she's saying that Milo was posting pictures of Ashley when she was 15 in her underwear. And this was from, I won't even read this. This is something that Ashley St. Clair wrote. Won't even read it. Actually, I'll just scroll right through it. Elon Musk, we need to start having more babies in the U.S. Ashley St. Clair, I volunteer. And apparently, Ashley St. Clair has been trying to reach out to Elon about this whole thing. And when I first saw them, like, this seems really fake. But at the same time, it's like, who knows? Oh, she's deleting a bunch of Twitters now. All right, boys. Smash or pass. Just saying. A hard no for me. This is so funny. Oh, she's a goth baddie too? Wow. He claims to have had Musk's 13th child. This guy is going like full Genghis Khan. About the rapes, obviously. And she would call herself a conservative too. But she's just another e-whore. Nobody. Ashley St. Clair. Oh, that's interesting. Ashley St. Clair moved into a luxury apartment that cost $12,000, an apartment complex known as celebrities and VIPs. People living there, she saw she got a Cybertruck before anyone else, and people questioned how she was able to afford these luxury things. There was one thing where she showed that she got like $7,000 from the from Twitter. We could all dream to get that kind of money. Yeah, she's basically set for life. Oh, that's what started this whole thing? You saw this clip? That could have been a nanny for all we know. Yeah, me too. Definitely the road less traveled. One without so many miles on it.
Officer, can
So she saw that video, and then that's when she posted that. I mean, the time lines up. I go to horny jail. Wait, that really happened? Oh, God. No way. Hold on. What is Milo's name? Nero? Okay. I mean, it just goes to show you, boys. It's should I go? No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it actually, because I know John. I know Abu is probably might be watching, or someone's watching, and is gonna try and clip everything. But you know what? It pays to be an e-whore. That's all I'm gonna say. You go and get knocked up by a billionaire, then you're set for life. That's how it works sometimes. All right, so this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted to do. Where is it? I wonder if I can get. Usually, if you want to see stuff from Indie Star, you have to set your. All right. Okay, so this is super funny. Okay, so for all of you out there, oh yeah, I know who Milo is. Oh yeah, I know who Milo is. Corey, have you ever seen Murdoch? Maybe I'll do a movie night with Murdoch. That'll be guaranteed to get me kicked off of YouTube. Well, anyway, so this was some fun stuff from last week. Lawrence DP director says controller is lying to falsely balance proposed 2025 budget. For any of those who do not want to pay for IndieStar, most of you probably have a VPN. Set your VPN to Europe, and you'll be able to watch it. I prefer Paris myself, sometimes Algeria. All right, so this was very funny. Deb Whitfield's administration was already under increased scrutiny due to a blow-up over the city budget last fall, leading to allegations of wrongdoing against the city controller, the comptroller, not like an auditor. Corey, you know what I'm talking about. You're like the only person that knows what I'm talking about. That's so funny. Oh, so the controller, Humphrey Najila. So there, if from some of the people that I've talked to, there's allegations of Deb Whitfield screwing the comptroller, Humphrey Najila. And let's see, Whitfield's chief of staff, Greg Goodnight, the former mayor of Kokomo, told him, an email that the late bond payment was due to an administrative issue. Basically, they forgot to pay, is what they're saying. And then the bond bank said has been notified, and we are communicating with them regularly. Several check payments to various vendors and employees were recently rejected after our bank implemented enhanced security measures. So they're saying it's like, well, no, everything's actually okay. You know, we just got this new system, and hey, got to work out the kinks a little bit. And that whole bond, that whole payment, that big payment, we just kind of forgot, which is a wild thing to say. Like, that's your job, is to make sure all the stuff is happening. And then you're just like, yeah, we kind of just forgot about it. So this is kind of funny. Lawrence DPW director Chris Wilburn, who is the husband of Victoria Garcia Wilburn, who is the same lady that sent the Capitol Police after me and John from false allegations, by the way, saying that it was posting pictures of their children and their medical records and where they go to school on Twitter, which was never the truth. In fact, I will bet you right now $1,000. If you want to go that route, I will bet you $1,000 that there is nothing out there. Because I'm sure it'll be brought up in the future, because there's a bunch of fucking morons out there. Even when I confronted Jesse about it, This fucking idiot could totally fold it like a wet paper towel. And I was like, well, this is false. Do you have any truth on that or any proof on that? He goes, I believe it, therefore it's true. You know, which coming from the ketamine cowboy totally checks out, because this is the same guy that said, I am a police abolitionist, but I will call the cops on a black kid. Oh, I am a proud Christian, but also you guys should go check out Satanism. That is the same guy. You can't really talk to communists at all. They don't care if you call them out on their lies, because their brain is broken. All right, so Whitfield's former chief of staff, Zach Brown, which, by the way, is the husband of Allie Brown. Zach Brown also runs like Brown Progressive Strategies, which I think Brown Progressive Strategies got money from Rise Indy, which Rise Indy is some like pro-charter act, basically. More recently, Lawrence Common Council President Zach Kramer, a Democrat like Whitfield, has called up for a forensic audit over concerns over Najila. I brought this up like a few weeks ago. Like, a forensic audit is much more in depth, where you're really making sure everything is good. Let's see. Rick Wells, another Democrat lover, said he wasn't surprised by the late bomb payment, but it was mind-boggling. Wells, who's been a council for 9 years, said he was one of the people whose checks from the city recently bounced when he tried to deposit. Wells has paid about $1,000 per month in stipend. And a stipend? Really? And you know, it's kind of weird that they don't have direct deposit. How do you not have direct deposit if you're a government official? Can anybody explain? Do they have to have paper checks? Yeah, so this was the best part. The bond bank director said that because they missed a payment, it could impact the city's future credit rating. It'll downgrade your credit rating. In 2021, the town of Plainfield was hit with a rating downgrade from S&P Global after it failed to make its debt service payment on time due to administrative error. The town similarly made the payments after being notified it was late. It didn't stop them, though, from editing the credit rating. Then a situation resulted in a financial audit. Man, wouldn't you hate to be mayor when that stuff is happening? That is so funny. All right, so yeah. I don't know. What do you want to watch, Kif? Oh, I'm up for watching whatever. There was this other one. On my Twitter. I think it's on the Twitter. Scroll through here. There was that one with Allie Bartlett. How did I? Culture. Trying to find it right now. There was one that I was going to watch, but it's kind of long. Oh, maybe it's on Blake Johnson's Twitter. Yep, there it is. Okay.
Actually, at the
All right. All right, we can watch this one. It's kind of long. You might speed run it, though. Try it.
Next order of business is roll call members. Please.
All right.
In session. But Allie Bartlett, she is a registered lobbyist, and we're going to talk about what that means. And she's with Bose Public Affairs Group. We're going to talk to her about different clients, different initiatives that she focuses on in the legislature and working with.
Funny how Allie Bartlett, a registered Republican, PC, or an elected Republican precinct committeeman, is on a Democrat show, but also Jim Pressel was on there, and I think there was some other Democrat that was on there. Yeah, Mark Fisher, I think. God, I hope no other Republicans go on there. If you are a Republican and you're going to go on that show, I'm really going to be second guessing everything that you do.
representatives.
But you know what? I'm making a list right now and checking it twice, and I'm going to post it on the Indie Reporter Twitter page on people who I trust and don't trust and majorly don't not trust.
Allie, I have been waiting for this day for a long time.
I have been waiting for this day for a long time. I mean,
Allie's been talking about this day for a long time.
I mean, if we're going to ask Representative Johnson, I forced my way onto this show, but
well, but let's be honest.
This is a hostage situation.
Mash your pass. For me, it is the hardest of hard no's. All right, absolutely not.
Is out.
Well, that's
and
only
we can operate it that way.
That's only because Allie and I were supposed to do a podcast first, and you bogarted your way
I
in.
will say the original idea for all of this was us.
Well, yeah, except I started my podcast without either of you. To great fanfare, and it's only grown. It's grown.
Is that your wife and child?
My wife's never listened to an episode.
But I did hear you say before we started that the viewership has just
hard pass.
It has
through the roof
increased
since the edition
It has increased
of the one and only Earl Harris, and
that
was originally our idea. Exactly.
Where can I
think we should have you on every month.
And then someday we will run on a split ticket.
There you go.
I think everyone should know this is a very large room, so I could escape.
The only problem is we'll probably argue over who'll be the top of the ticket.
Oh no, we know who it'll be.
Me.
Me.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, moving back to
I hate lobbyists. I can't even tell you how much I hate lobbyists right now.
I called you a registered lobbyist, which means something. Tell us exactly what does it mean to be a registered lobbyist versus just a lobbyist?
Yeah.
Well, first off, let me just tell you, I don't give a fuck. But also, like, if you're a registered lobbyist, you should not be in either party then. You should just be by yourself, not as a elected precinct committee one.
So the term lobbyist is really like the term of art there, because that's a different term that's defined differently in every state and at the federal level. So I think this is actually a good little learning lesson for people, and sometimes can get people in trouble. So like, I'm really just providing education to everybody today. There is a defined term, lobbying and lobbyist, in Indiana code. And basically what it says, Cliff Notes version, is that if you are compensated a certain amount for communicating with elected officials on a topic that is actively being considered in legislation, then you have become a lobbyist and you are required to register with the Indiana Lobby Registration Commission. So anyone who's coming to the Statehouse just like on their own personal accord, they took PTO from work, like this is just something they're passionate about, and they're coming to meet with you guys about a bill, that's not lobbying because they're not getting paid for it. But then where people kind of get in trouble a lot of times are people that like work for a company, and their company, or you know, personally in their role with the company, they might be interested in something, they come and meet with you guys and talk about it. But if like they're on the clock and they're getting paid at that time, they could cross a threshold and become a lobbyist, and then they would need to register. So
dude, that's who doesn't know that? I mean, for real, who doesn't know what a lobbyist does? You know, they get a lot of money too. I mean, her house is like $500,000.
yeah, that's kind of the difference.
Okay, so let's talk about this. I'll just dive right in, right? So, you know, if you look at surveys of what the least popular jobs are in the world.
The least popular terms.
Yes. Yeah. Lobbyist is at the top of that list.
As it should be.
So, you know, there's obviously
as it should be, but you are a lobbyist.
A bad rap. And so I guess I would ask you first, is some of that justified?
I think some of it is justified. Look, and I do want to point out.
No.
Let me
all of
defend
it's
myself
justified.
A little bit here. I think there's a huge difference between state level lobbyists and federal lobbyists too. Like I think, you know,
there's not.
I think people tend to look at government and politics, and the first thing they always think about is national, federal level politics and government. When the funny part is, as we all know very well, the things that really impact people's daily lives are mostly decided at the state and local level. Like I think it's easy for people to get fired up about stuff happening at the federal level, and then you know, you get into the buzzwords, especially in today's day and age, like registered lobbyist for big pharma, or for like, you know, a various number like the Communist Party, or like, because they're actually at the federal level that does exist. At the state level, still justified in some cases, because obviously, when you're getting paid by a company or an interest group to represent their interests, that's what you're doing. You're trying to push their agenda at the state legislature. And so depending on what your views are on a certain topic, that's why I think lobbyists get a bad rap.
So before Earl asks you softball questions,
All right, let me explain to you how this whole thing works. Say Toyota wants something to happen. They go to a law firm and say, hey, we want this to happen. Since they have all the legalese of it all, they will make up a bill that's appropriate as for a law. So then they send people over like Allie Bartlett, sweet little tasty, at her eyes, take them out for a drink, take them out for dinner. Hey, we really want this bill to get, or we'll give you some money. That's basically how it is. There's not like, oh, we'll give you money if you get this bill going. It's, hey, we like what you do. We're going to give you some money for the effort, but also the wink, wink, nod, nod kind of deal.
Oh, wow. Just zinger right off the bat.
How do you
Let's go.
So you're obviously an attorney. I know that you're incredibly brilliant and you are hard to argue with.
And he says you're coming with the softballs. He says you're coming with the softballs.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I hear a loud
but why are you so awful? No, I'm kidding.
Why are you actually terrible?
So what I do want to know though is like, how do you go? You're an attorney. How did you decide to go into this industry? Because you understand politics, you know that you get a bad rap in the job. So why this gig?
Just all money.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
all
kidding. Actually, I think that's an interesting question because I think there's kind of this life cycle of people who kind of work in politics and government, especially at the state level. I was kind of your typical use case, right? So I was in college at Purdue. I came and interned at the state legislature, which I'm from Northern Indiana. I had never spent much time in Indianapolis at all.
Go Northern Indiana.
Go Northern Indiana. Go Lake County.
Talent still comes down here, though. Yep,
that's exactly
because
right.
we're trying to help
or
you.
we go to Chicago.
Right.
We can talk about that later. I always thought I would end up in Chicago, but I decided to come down here and then I went to law school at night, like a lot of legislative assistants do at the Statehouse. So when you kind of like work your way through that pipeline, you just become entrenched in this world, and it's kind of like a natural fit to become a lobbyist after that. But I kind of deviated a little bit from that because I did want to practice law, and I do practice law, and that's a huge part of my career too. Knowing what I know about government and politics, I wanted to make sure that Statehouse piece was still ingrained into what I was doing, and for me, the natural outgrowth of that was to continue lobbying. And
she's a partner at Bose, McKinney & Evans. That's funny.
So I represent a lot of the same clients on the legal side and the lobbying side, and I help.
So she's like probably never home then. Because like partners work unbelievably long hours. So what's crazy is that she's married and has children. So that sucks for that kid.
Government compliance, basically. So it kind of all weaves itself together. Now, I'm not, a lobbyist like a lot of other people. A lot of people are, full-time lobbyists and are not lawyers too. But I think it's most people I know that get into lobbying do it as an outgrowth of some former type of government service, and it's just a world that they've become familiar and comfortable with. And a lot of us are friends, like we become comfortable with each other too. And so I think it's just kind of this natural progression that leads you there.
So let's get into what life of a lobbyist is. During session, there are more lobbyists in the building than there are of us elected officials. What's a day like for you being a lobbyist at the Statehouse?
This is so funny. Let's look at her LinkedIn real quick. He was an LA legislative intern for the Indiana House of Representatives in 2013, campaign intern for the HRCC, which is very funny because I remember asking her why the HRCC won't contact me. Is there any way for me to contact them? And she said no. Basically no. In LA for the House of Representatives again. Any School of Law. Worked for Bingham. By the way, this is the same place that Dan Boots works at too. Now she's a partner at Bose McKinney Evans. This chick has no soul. She also tried gaslighting me like 2 weeks ago, which was the funniest thing ever. I should show you the text messages, but I'm not going to because I'm not that big of a scumbag. I might be a bad guy and a villain sometimes, but I'm definitely not a monster.
So, like I said, I mean, mine can be a little different just because I'm also a lawyer. So, during session for me, especially, I kind of feel like I'm doing two different jobs. Like, I'm at the Statehouse all day, but like I'm on my laptop all the time doing my legal job too. And there are a lot of us that do that. But day to day, like, I think this is a lot.
This is also something worth pointing out too. So when Sarah Scheidel was running against Justin Moet in the primary, Mila Eldridge had made some complaint like Sarah didn't have, wasn't living where Sarah was supposed to be living for a year. And so there was a, where they had to talk to the election board, I think what it was. And Allie Bartlett was on the side of the Democrats with Gregory Hahn, who's the chair of the Indigo board. So you had Gregory Hahn, you had Allie Bartlett, both Bose McKinney people, and going against Sarah Scheidel to try and get Sarah Scheidel off the ticket. So it was just going to be Moet through the primary. So, worst.
Lost art.
Awful,
More
awful,
lobbyists
awful
need to
person.
be at the Statehouse all day, every day again. Like, I feel like this has really shifted over time. And I was actually just talking to a great colleague of mine, another lobbyist, Mike O'Brien, the other day, and we were talking about how like the hallways get so empty, like in the afternoon, like it back in the day, like I'm not gonna date myself, but like a long time ago when I was on staff, all the lobbyists were there all the time, and like the whole point was for all of us to be in the building together because, as you guys know, like that's the best way for us to communicate and collaborate and get things right. And so I find a lot of value in actually being there because then I can like, me and you do it all the time because we work on a lot of issues together. You'll catch me in the hallway and say, oh, I heard this. Like, what do you know about this? And that's kind of how, that's how we like advance things. And so day to day, I try to be at the Statehouse a lot during session just because I think it's productive and good for my clients. It's the best way for me to know what's going on. And I think it's the fastest way for like everything to get done because we can just be there on site communicating with each other.
You're talking about strategy. Sorry, Earl. Just trying to
go ahead. You
get
take
a word
your
in here.
No. So, I actually have legitimate questions.
Oh
I have a legitimate question.
Tell me about yourself.
So
I feel like this is an interview.
Allie, you talked a little bit about. I mean, this is part of my question, right? This idea of like being present is part of the gig, right? What is kind of like, how do you develop a strategy when you've got an issue without a specific issue? Because we're going to talk about iGaming, I suspect, but
I thought I was going there next.
No, not yet. Let's keep talking about the day-to-day life.
So,
how do you develop a strategy on how to move a topic that you're advocating for through the process?
That's a great question. It can lead right up to iGaming because iGaming is a perfect example of that. Like, it's something we've been working on for years. And I think the very first thing you have to do is, and I think some lobbyists are better at this than others, setting expectations for your clients. Because as you both know, I'm as aggressive as they come. Like, I will work my butt off to get something done on behalf of my clients. But being realistic with your clients at the outset, like, is this an issue that's going to happen in 1 year? Like, is this an issue that might take 5 or 6 sessions to like really educate the legislature on and like push to get them there?
She all right. So yeah, you noticed that too, Corey, for sure. She likes to do that. When I'll tell you a quick story. When I was at the caucus, so this was like a day before the caucus, she goes on to like In Focus and she'll have these debates with Democrats, and she was having one and somebody posted it and I was like, what are you talking about? She's not a Republican. I posted a screenshot of it. And then of her helping out Justin Moet. It's like, she's not a Republican. And then the next day at the caucus, she runs up on me like, hey, I think we're on the wrong side of things. You know, I just want to clear things up. And I was like, all right, clear them up, basically. I was like, all right, well, I appreciate, telling me the truth and everything. I'm like, but you are helping Justin, right? And she goes, yeah, I'm helping him. I'm like, okay. I was like, why? She goes, oh, well, Sarah Scheidel's a trans. I'm like, that's why? She goes like, basically, yeah. I was like, that is so funny because that's like one of Justin Moet's talking points, like protecting the LGBTQ community. But then like actively working to get a trans person off the ballot is just crazy amusing to me. But yeah, she would just not stop yapping like this I heard text messages aren't any better.
I think that's step one. You got to set expectations because then you can feel comfortable knowing that you have a runway because a lot of stuff, hinges on your ability to educate masses of legislators. Like there's some lobbyists out there, which, props to them. They might have a great relationship with one person in leadership and they feel like they can hang their hat on that and they don't need to go and educate every other member. I don't really do that. I want to meet with every member and really make my case. Like even if members are not on the committees that I namely need for one issue, I think it's so important to make sure that at least a critical mass of legislators know what your issue is, know what you're advocating for, and that's really the first piece for me, besides setting expectations. So education. So set expectations, educating the masses on, your issue and why it's a positive move for the state of Indiana. I think even outside of gaming, which is a public policy issue, everything comes down to public policy. You have to tell legislators why what you're asking them to do is a good public policy move. I want to make it easy for you guys to say yes because I want to tell you why I think it's good for the state of Indiana. Now, I also am very lucky to work for clients that I actually believe in, industries I actually believe in. I literally am the most random lobbyist ever. It's gaming, gambling, and nonprofits. Those are literally my two client bases. Very random, very weird, but I believe in all of it. And so I actually can go sell their story. And so then once you're done with the educating, that's when you start advocating. So you educate and then you advocate. And I think advocating is a little bit more strategic in that you're going to the particular committee members, you're figuring out who should carry your legislation. You're trying to whip votes. You're trying to know who's going to vote which way, which committee path is it going to take. In gaming, we're always going to get recommitted to Ways and Means. So we always have two stops before the floor. So it's really, I think, educating, advocating, and then you're just then you're really in the game and you're whipping
You probably got
votes.
the same experience with her that she will tell me what the other side is going to say.
Yes.
Which is good. We talked about that before.
And I asked that
knowing that they're willing, a lobbyist is willing to share the alternative argument, but then she goes, but now I'm going to destroy that argument.
But now I'm literally going to just dismantle the entire thing.
All right, here we go. This is what's going on here. Rose McKinney Evans. Less than 4 years after legalizing iGaming, Michigan has brought in nearly $1 billion. Should Indiana be paying attention? Yeah. So, she said, she's all into the gaming stuff. Justin Moed's bills are actually like that, too. So, yeah, real quick. There is video game terminals right there in 2024, 2023. Video game terminals again. But if you go through his campaign reports, you'll see that he's bought with very little money. It's like $500 and you can buy yourself is that 2020? Yeah. You can buy a politician with very little money. Like $500 in pocket. He or she pocket.
Which she does.
She does very well.
Yeah.
Thank
I've
you.
learned that.
But I actually do think that's really important. And if you have any sort of respect for or care for, I'm with two people who I consider my friends, and
that is a great. Yeah, that is what I've been pointing out for a while, Corey. Is I get gambling but like you said, people that are desperate and they need money and they're just try whatever, and then you have the other people that are just addicted to that kind of stuff. Well, you throw another vice in there, there's going to be people that are going to go and do it. Obviously, gambling is another one of those vices that will always attract the acceptable.
A lot of legislators, my friends, too.
Yeah.
So I care about you guys, and I
nonprofits,
want
too.
you to be prepared for what the pushback could be. I don't want to put you in a position where, you come out and getting attacked on social media for voting yes on my bill.
Yeah.
And so I always think that's very
He does not care.
important part of, the education piece. We want to have respect. Well, I want to have respect for the legislators that I'm working for, and understanding that especially the issues that I work on the public policy side can be divisive. But let me show you what I think they're going to say and how exactly you can respond to that, because there is a response. Now, if there's a lobbyist out there telling you there is no good response, then just run.
Time to move on.
Yeah.
You said something that was actually part of my first campaign, or has been part of my campaign, is relationships equal resources. And that's exactly what you say as a lobbyist you have to have. So let's focus on one of the areas that you focus on because it's in my area. I have East Chicago, Gary Hammond. So when you look at Ameristar, Hard Rock, and Horseshoe, I have 3 casino cities.
You are like literally the casino legislator.
I am the casino legislator. That's why we get along so well.
I love this about you.
Thank you.
That seems like a title you probably don't
Yeah,
want.
Well, just for this show, but
This
nobody's
man
watching.
literally has
Nobody's
3
watching.
I'm clipping this, by
casinos
the
in
way.
his district.
Yeah,
Like,
I've-
how
I
did
do.
that happen?
I'm clipping that. You're like the casino legislator. You care about these billionaires, right? Hey, we need to bring more revenue into the state. Well, okay, why don't we just go and find the people that'll totally are okay with losing money?
Got none. Should we talk about that?
Maybe you should.
Maybe there's a message there.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get into that. When you are working on policy that has to do with casinos, because some people see it as sin. Let's just be real.
yes.
There's people who
They
say
do?
that. No comment from you.
They do?
Well,
Oh my God, I didn't
occasionally,
know.
yeah, you know.
Well, as we drove in here, there's a banner that says repent. So
Yeah.
I think it's okay that we
It's like
talk
hell,
about it.
hell is real.
Yeah.
Don't listen to
And
Ali.
it's literally
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, it's you. Talk to us about working in that realm. And as you said, you have to educate legislators, and a lot of them, is whatever that percentage is or number, are always going to be no's.
Yeah. This is like my favorite part of working on gaming issues, and I've said this to both of you. You know, for anybody out there who didn't know this, I actually am a Republican, and not
I think
a
everybody
secret.
knows that. Yeah.
And you're our third Republican on the show.
Yeah, you guys are really knowing how to pick them. I like that a lot.
So what she's saying is like only corrupt Republicans go onto this show.
Well, you said you.
She's a rhino, is what it is. She's a Holcomb Republican, a GDP bro.
For free this morning, so.
No, it was.
That's
me.
how we ended up hosting this.
Yeah,
actually.
exactly.
It was actually me lobbying to get on this show.
Which
Actually,
shows
was
your
the thing.
effectiveness. I
I'm
She is
suppose.
good.
super effective.
You
Look,
are.
I'm here,
Yeah.
so call me if you need
When
a
she knew
lobbyist.
she didn't need 2 votes either. She just needed 1.
just needed
That's
one.
how it goes.
Actually, you both are on committees, but
Yes,
we'll
that's
leave that
true.
aside for
That's
now.
true. That's true.
No, and so it's actually really funny because I get
Yeah.
that question all the time. Like, you know, I kind of came up in Republican politics, like, so involved in Republican politics. They're like, how'd you get involved in gaming? Because people like don't associate gaming with Republicans. It's, you know, kind of
'Cause she has no
I guess,
soul and
just
she's a
because it's
snake.
So conservative. But the funny part is,
She's not
this is
conservative.
a true story, and I am someday going to write like an op-ed about this and why gaming is actually a Republican issue and should be, because I got into gaming because in law school I was the president of the Federalist Society, big shocker, and I wanted to write a law review article about the 10th Amendment, federalism. And at the time, the United States Supreme Court was hearing the case to overturn a federal law that disallowed the states from legalizing sports betting. And spoiler alert, the Supreme Court did wind up overturning the law on the basis of the 10th Amendment. And so I wrote my law review article about that case. And, you know, gaming is actually the most perfect example of federalism at work because, little known fact, gaming is fully legalized and regulated on a state-by-state basis. There is almost no federal oversight of commercial gaming at all. And so I think it's just a prime example of the 10th Amendment in action and at work. And so I wrote my law review article about that. And then subsequent to it being published, the Supreme Court overturned that case. And so then all of a sudden, you know, this influx of like gaming companies wanted people to lobby to legalize sports betting in Indiana, which we did in
'cause brings in more
2019.
money.
Great move for the state. We regulated and legalized something that was already happening and really helped to bring out a black market into a regulated market, which is the entire argument for legalization of new forms of gaming. So that's how I got into it.
This chick is the fucking worst. The absolute fucking worst. Somehow she was like, oh no, because it all comes down to money for them. She's not conservative at all. Her God is money.
And how do I deal with what you were talking about, which is, you know, this concept that there are a handful of members in the legislature, which I think this is changing as there's more turnover, there's younger people, like that sort of thing. But there are still people that just will never vote yes on gaming. They will always vote no, no matter how compelling an argument it is. But that's part of why I like it, because gaming is one issue where I'm always going to need bipartisan support. Yeah. And I like working, shocking, with both sides of the aisle.
Yeah,
and so
because
I
Democrats don't give a fuck about what the not the unintended consequences, but they don't give they only give a shit about money. And they want to know how much more of your money can we get and how much more of your money can we waste. And Illinois is the perfect example of that. And California,
I
obviously.
really like working on issues that I know I'm going to need Democrat
This chick is
votes.
the
like,
worst.
I'm, one of the few that gets to do that because there's always going to be a handful of people. Some are Democrats too that will vote no. But I think that's really fun. So I like that.
So first of all, thanks for looking at me when
Blake
you
just
said
keeps
younger
cutting me
members.
off.
That was
No,
your
she-
question.
She meant me.
He was
She
like-
answered
She
your
was talking
question.
Me. I have a
She-
follow-up to that. That's
you were
how
like
this
the
works.
original younger member.
Thank you very
Like
much.
people,
I'm the
he
OG
was like the
younger
OG.
member.
No, he really is. Like he really is.
Is the last
just
season.
mad
I
as
think
look at
actually
this is the
this
last
is the last.
season.
No, this is the last episode. It's just this is the last
No,
episode.
we actually
we're
have
done
another one
after
scheduled.
this.
So
Yeah, we gotta
got
shoot one more
no,
today.
we-
Yeah. Spoiler alert: we have to shoot multiple episodes a day because there's no time to do anything.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
All right,
right.
I'd like to turn the floor to you.
I thank you,
The OG
Representative
younger member.
Johnson.
The
Thank
OG
you.
younger.
So, continuing the train of conversation with gaming, Mr. Johnson.
No
how
shit.
Is it going in terms of iGaming? I know this is something you and I have talked about for years. So I know there's legislation going on this year. Tell us about iGaming and where things are.
Thank you so much for asking. So
Well, you
excited
lobbied me to ask
talk
that
about
question.
this. Did I? Hey,
I
I'm
didn't even
very
look at the
talking, I'll make
campaign
you a
reports
lobbyist.
on
But
what changed.
I actually think
Never
iGaming is
got
like
to
a
it.
really good bill to talk about, like that kind of gives context to like how session goes in general.
Sure. They
and
actually
gaming
numbered
in
the
general,
pages this
because
time, too.
Crazy things happen with gaming bills, like about when they live or die and what happens. I mean, crazy things. So iGaming in particular, I was talking about this a little bit in the context of sports betting. The whole pitch
There it is.
for iGaming is that if I literally pulled out my phone right now, I would literally do it right now.
Literally.
And Googled play poker online. You can absolutely do that on your phone right now. There are a million
All
ways
right,
to do
shut
it.
the fuck up. Look, I was just notified of this. Natalie Goodwin's, we're going to be talking about this on Tuesday, too. Natalie Goodwin had a $10,000 disbursement to expenditure to Bullhorn Communications on 11/08/2023. Wait a minute. Hold on 1 second. Was that in the original? That was filed in January 17th. Oh, interesting. That in the original? Hardcore? I know. You guys probably want to see what I'm. So this was the updated one, February 7th. Oh yeah, by the way, you saw the Oorah pack that she got money from Todd Young's campaign. Maybe I should talk about that again on Tuesday. Well, we know Bob Baining's going to be voting for. Bullhorn Communications on page 8 of 9. Page 8 and 9, Harcourt 1420. Is that the only one? Where's the end? Oh, let me start over. Boom, you're right there, Allie. So this was the original. This is. That is the annual, the original, January 17, 2024. And this one, I think, is 14 to 12, 20. 14. Okay. Here we go, boys. We're on to something, boys. We're on it. So that was. So, okay. The original. I got. Eight. This is the court. Nothing there. 15,000 from Republican state. Oh, everything changed. Oh no, okay. Oh, they added a page. They actually legitimately added a page. Right? They don't even show a total on there. God Are so fucking late. The show's 9. They added to. I just need to get a printout. That's interesting. Oh no, they just added more. That's Hinted, Bullhorn, Current Publishing, Harcourt. They're missing a page. 7 of 9. Oh, they didn't put in a page. That's what happened. That's interesting. So the updated one has the extra page in there. Because I am right on this, right? 8 of 9, 9 of 9. Or right here on the top right. 8 of 9. 8. They put 8 of 9 twice. What the fuck is wrong with these people? Are you kidding me right now? 9 of 9. 8 of 9. 8 of 9. 6 of 9. Really? This late? Another? Wait. 2 6 of 9s? Are you kidding me right now? 4 of 9. 2 of 9. What is going... 2 of 9. What is going on right now? Are you shitting me? Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so at least they like counted correctly. What the freak is going on right now? I just cannot stand these people. This is unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable stuff that's going on right now. I can't believe it. It's not working. Got that. Got that. Got that. That's got that. Bam. Biggity bam. There we go. Hold on 1 second. Biggity biggity bam. Boom. Bam. There we go. Hold on. Bam. There we go. All right. No principles. Yeah. This is unbelievable. I can't believe we're doing it. So on the updated one, did they count it right? One, 2 of 9, 2 of 9, 4 of 9, 6 of 9, 6 of 9, 8 of 9, 8 of 9, 9 of 9. F my life right now. And this is supposed to be our county chair. Unbelievable. 100. I just want to like print this out right now. I wish I had a working printer. Harcourt, 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 Harcourt. Oh, you see what they did? They repeated it. They didn't even add the year to date. So they are Harcourt. So instead of the second Harcourt, they put in that page. So the updated one, and they didn't even finish the year to date. I'm gonna have to print all these out and actually look at it. This is unbelievable. This is crazy right now. Fine job, by the way, who sent me that, or who let me know about that. Oh boy. I didn't realize who's watching. Oh man, that is some funny. Okay, so who's that then? Hold on. We're getting oh, and oh, that's Lake Forest. State Operations Sector. Oh my God, that's so funny. So did they get married in Indiana? That's all I want to know. That's interesting. I don't know if you're still watching or not. No fucking way. Oh my. All right, hold on. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this right now? We're doing it in real time, too. I just found some major information out. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. Ugh. All right, so we know... Can't see anything, right? You can't see anything? All right, logging out. Give me a second. Doing this. I don't want it. Hold on, we gotta double check the screen. Okay, you can't see anything. Good. Logging out. I have to look at something at my secret decoder ring right now. Kind of could have probably used the laptop. Sweet. Sweet. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I got that. All right. Very interesting with this bullhorn stuff. I'm gonna have to make sure that I point it out. Really just need to. I need to print it out so I can see everything because all these things. Dude, look how many amendments they have. How many? They have 3 pre-primaries. They have how many elections? 2 elections. They have an amended, 2 amended annuals, right? Yeah. This was for 24. Yeah, so they have 2 pre-primaries, 2 pre-elections, and a partridge in a pear tree. Wonderful. This is no. So she got 47 grand. She got 47 grand from the state committee. This is crazy. I am so fucking pissed off right now because of just how bad the party totally fucked me over. I couldn't even get an email back, and they gave this chick 47 grand. This is unbelievable. All right. So apparently, where's that chick? Reagan Gamache? So apparently Reagan Gamache is married to someone that's really in it. I mean, and this is like, wait, who is Ethan Lawson? Isn't Ethan Lawson one of the state legislators? Okay, so who is Connie Lawson? Is that a mom? She's a Secretary of State forever. Anvil, Central Anna, damn. So is Ethan Lawson related to Connie Lawson? Because that would explain how Ethan Lawson. Hold on. Oh, Connie Lawson married to Jack Lawson, who has 2 children, Brian and Kylie, and 7 grandchildren. Jeez. She and her husband own. So it's not that. Oh, this is wild stuff right now. Getting a lot of information. And I don't. These people are godless. Yeah. They, we can do the Indiana marriage records real quick. Because then if at least I can that. What the really? I find them on Facebook. I'm finding something right now. I don't know, you guys. You don't want to bore you. Do you want to keep listening to that fucking crazy lady, Allie Bartlett?
But
okay.
You can do it. You can play blackjack. You can play slots. 100% accessible. Now, it is also 100% illegal in the state of Indiana. No one knows that because it's
Who are these
super
people
easy
from
to
the
do
People
it,
Helping People
but
Network?
It is 100% illegal.
Oh, that's Mike Pence.
So the problem is that the operators online where you can do it right now, they're black market operators. They have no regulatory scheme. They have no oversight from the Indiana Gaming Commission or the state of Indiana. Indiana is making no tax dollars off of those websites, but they're happening all day, every day. The American Gaming Association came out with a study a couple years ago that estimated the size of the black market in the U.S. at over $300 billion a year. And that's the entire United States. And that's probably a low-end estimate because it's hard to estimate the size of a black
Yeah, they probably come from like the East Coast, from like New York and New Jersey.
market.
Don't you know the
Real
mob?
quick, does that also mean with no regulation, with no oversight,
Yeah.
they could also just be stealing your money?
They actually are.
Yes. It's not like you're playing a fair game of poker or anything
No.
like that, right?
Well,
They
here's
are
an
like-
idea. Maybe don't gamble then with a bunch of sketchy people. Just putting it out there.
Is zero technology oversight. So like if you have a regulated, legalized iGaming market, that's a great point. Like one of the many regulatory requirements is that their technology meet certain standards within the gaming industry. So like I have a client that their entire business is testing the integrity of gaming technology to make sure that they're
Good on
randomly
Brian.
number generated,
Found the connection.
that they maintain that integrity of randomness. So that's just one element of it. Funny story. My own brother
Yep.
is a degenerate.
Thank
and
you, by the
plays
way.
Online poker all the time. So we
We're
got
gonna talk
into,
about
like,
it on
an
Tuesday.
argument, and he's like, "It's not illegal. Like I do it every day." And I'm like, "No, it is illegal.
That's not the definition of what's
You're
illegal.
just doing it
Yeah.
every day." So we get in this argument. He's like, "No, there's no way it's illegal. Like I can literally do it so easily." I'm like, "No, trust me, it's illegal. Like I'll literally show you
This
the
is
law."
literally my career.
Literally
Godin,
my
huh?
entire
Interesting.
career.
Sounds like your
Right
family's like
here.
mine. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, this is actually what I do. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Ah,
They're
Did
like,
I
"Wait,
see
what
this
do you
guy?
do? Like what? No,
You
okay.
don't
You just went to fancy
Politics.
dinners
You
all
don't
the
know
time.
anything. I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. So have fun with that.
Yeah.
Not 1 week later, he calls me and is like, Allie, like I uploaded like 500.
You know what?
bucks,
I
like-
might have seen these people at a Doden event. I might have seen them. Yeah. Definitely this guy. High as fuck too.
my e-wallet on this account and is like gone. And I was like, that sucks. This website is being run out of China. Like, what do you want me to
And
do
I
about
warned
that?
you.
He's like, I thought you were a gaming lawyer. I'm like, oh, now I'm a gaming lawyer.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
that's fun. Now I'm a gaming lawyer.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do because if
On
that
the next
were
episode, complexities of family.
Yeah.
wait, you guys really need to get a therapist up in here. Actually, there should be one like sitting right over
They're
there.
actually, it's Jacob in the other
Yeah.
room. Yeah.
Jacob, can you come in here? We have
And the
some
guy that looks like
problems.
David Duchovny, he'll come in.
Oh
too.
yeah, David Duchovny will come
We
in as
need
well.
to unpack some things actually.
right.
No, but
I'm
anyway.
glad I'm not the only one who has family members that make me go, ugh, you're not thinking.
No. That's another
all right.
episode. We
Yeah.
need to.
That's all
Okay,
right.
we'll dive in there.
Right.
Anyway, nothing I can do for my brother. He's out $500 because if this were a legal, regulated website operator, we could call the Indiana Gaming Commission. We could call their,
Maybe your brother shouldn't have been a fucking dumb shit and then did gambling on some like Chinese gambling app. Maybe there's an idea. Hey, maybe if how about I just not throw my money away on some fake bullshit?
actual business, and they would have consumer protections in place, and we could call the payment company.
Oh,
and all the
thank
things.
God.
All of those.
Now I can lose my money
companies and
faster.
entities would then be licensed. Not to mention the
Yeah,
fact that
yeah, exactly, Corey. Exactly. Yeah, my brother's a gambling addict, and meanwhile, I'll make money from a gambling addiction. It's a little bit complicated. You know, Christmas does get a little bit weird.
we would be collecting a massive tax revenue to support all of the good initiatives. and
Unbelievable.
programs
These
that
people are the
funded by the
worst.
state of Indiana. We can talk more about the budget after this because I think that's probably a topic of conversation. But I think, one thing that the speaker says a lot when we're talking about gaming, and I really respect this, he always says that we can't make gaming policy just on the basis of the revenue that could come from it, which I completely agree with, right? Like the
But do you?
revenue is very tempting in gaming. That sin, temptation. Like, yes, it's very tempting. Like, I think, there's market studies that have come out produced by the Indiana Gaming Commission.
You know what's you know what's super funny? It's like Democrats are so worried about mental health, but at the same time, you're like, yeah, but let's put something out there that, people are just going to go latch onto really easily and literally throw their entire life away. But then it's like, oh, but you know what? We should totally have the mental health for these people. That's like when you have the warning, when you like log on to have like some kind of gambling app. It's like, hey, if you ever have an addiction problem with gambling, please reach out. Do you know the main thing with people that have addictions They don't know they have an addiction. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm doing just fine. Sure, I lost the wife, I lost the kids, I lost the house, even the damn dog. But hey, at least I got roulette. That's all I'm saying.
And
I don't have a problem
with the iGaming bill, which the iGaming bill proposes to legalize iGaming and iLottery. I think all the same talking points apply. But, that revenue over, within 5 years could be upwards of $300 million in additional revenue every year to the state of Indiana. That's a lot of money. We should not make the policy on that basis. We should make a good public policy decision, and then if the revenue follows, it follows. I think iGaming is a good public policy decision for all the reasons I just said. Consumer protections, drawing people out of the black market, and, really the ability to just take something that's already happening and legalize and regulate it. And also, but that's, a lot of people will say, that's the same argument as marijuana.
I was literally about
Very
to say
similar argument.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I'm sorry,
I could just copy and paste this.
I'm sorry, cannabis. Let me get that right. It is a very similar argument, but what I would say, and what I do say to legislators, is that Indiana's already a gaming state. This is not a public policy shift to legalize a new delivery channel for gaming that we already have endorsed. We have 13 commercial casinos, a tribal casino, we have sports betting. The ship has sailed. The riverboat has sailed on gaming in Indiana. And so I think it's a good public policy move. It would also allow us to fully fund and create for the first time a robust, responsible gaming program in Indiana. We are one of the largest.
This is the same bullshit with safe and regulated Indiana, the people that are pushing for the weed. We just need to make sure we have regulation. That way the black market isn't taking over. Motherfucker, we will always have the black market. I have Mexicans down the street selling cotton candy. Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist is considered a black market. We will always have a black market. Same reason why we'll always have a dollar store.
Gaming states in the nation.
These people are fucking
know,
stupid.
I think we're number 4 or 5 in the nation. And we have no dedicated responsibility.
Yeah, legalized prostitution. Exactly. Though we all know Democrats are going to be pushing that too.
Program, which is a problem. Like, we have no dedicated program where people can seek help for gambling addictions or other problems, financial problems, etc., associated with a gambling problem. I think that's really important, and regardless of what happens with iGaming, it should happen.
Representative Johnson, do you have a question?
I'd like to ask a question. We should be more in order, I think.
Point of order.
Point of order.
So let's talk about that. So obviously, one of the counter arguments to this is that the availability of a casino in your pocket will simply increase access to this addiction.
Yeah.
That many people have, right?
2 + 2 = 4.
That iGaming will make it even worse. You and I have talked that iGaming actually is safer.
Oh, yeah.
So can you speak to that a little bit?
100%. It's like I planted that question. I actually didn't. I do plant questions a lot on committees, as we know, but I did not.
Doesn't
do
work
that.
on Johnson.
I've never received a text message from Allie.
Never me hey, can you please ask this question, please? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is a really dumb thing.
Oh.
Please point out.
So now we know. Now we know that lobbyists are texting the legislators to ask a question to whoever's giving testimony. Now we know. I will be clipping that, by the way. 2558.
Yeah, exactly.
That is actually a great point. iGaming 100% can be safer for people than anonymous casino gambling. When you're in a brick and mortar casino, you can use cash and walk in and out, and no one ever knows who you are. With online gaming, you have to go through what we call a KYC process, know your customer, where you have to prove your identity in multiple forms and fashions. And the KYC companies that do that are all licensed to do so. The Gaming Commission regulates them as well. So that's how deep this regulatory scheme goes, which is like my entire legal practice.
Yeah, I know, but
also you have to use an e-wallet.
I know that it's well known, but at least that now it's on video, because people will only believe it until they see it.
You can track spending. You can set up limitations on yourself so that you can limit your spending. And then they can also, the companies can monitor your spending and say, hey, you've never spent $5,000 in one day. Is everything okay? Should we check on you?
It's like when you're watching Netflix, are you still watching?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Or have you been hacked?
Burning through your.
Yeah, but people, normal people, don't get the bite. They don't see the little things. But when you prove it, that's why most of the stuff that I put out there is little bite-sized stuff. And then you work them all the way into the big picture. It's kind of like the picture that I had with what the Natalie Goodwin thing. They need, like most people. Yeah, I know. I see that all the time. I see the cell phones going on all the time, and I know that they're texting people. I'm just not sure. I wasn't sure about this part. It feels like I know I don't want to say illegal, but man, it just seems like totally immoral. Especially Ed Soliday. Soliday's the worst.
Your energy
Correct.
and data and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then they can send you a thing and be like, have you been hacked? Like, has your bank account been accessed by somebody? And there's also a lot of anti-money laundering technology that's in place when it's digital payments. But also, I want to go back to your point about the casino in your pocket, because I hear that a lot, especially on the right. And my response to that is, there already is. Like, it is right here. You can do it right now already.
Right.
So let's make it safer for people, because then you're going to end up like my brother and like lose your $500 to China. And I'm going to be like, you're a Chinese communist lobbyist now because you just paid them $500.
I think we should have a rule that if anyone is name dropped in the show and they don't reach out to say thanks for the name drop, we should give them unmitigated crap for not listening.
Like my brother.
idea.
Yeah, I mean, because like so now your brother, if he doesn't reach out and say, hey, I heard you mention me, like we should make there should be a list in the show notes of people who didn't reach out after, because
like let's tag him.
like everyone's listening.
We
So if
just
you're
called
not
him
listening, you are so behind.
You're literally so behind.
So behind. People
100%.
Because you're not listening, you don't even know you're behind.
And you're
That's
actually not even
right.
doing
Did
like
you
your
see what I
duty.
did there?
When I become king, these 3 people are going to the Crystal.
If you're a part of this industry and you're not listening to this podcast, you're out.
Can I ask one more question just on the
Yeah.
counterpoints that are happening?
100%.
And then we can move on. I don't even know how much time we have. This has been
We have a little bit of time, but we
Okay.
need to ask your question.
There we go,
Oh my
David
gosh,
Duchovny.
wait, this
that.
has gone way too
The
fast.
X-Files
We need
in
more.
the
voice
house.
from above
Guys,
just
kick
gave
out
us-
whoever's coming next. I'm going to stay.
Okay, well,
We'll do
done.
that.
Are they renting a
We
room?
can make that decision. So the other argument, obviously, is that
This is the
going
extended
to.
edition of Sessions.
That's right. It's
After dark.
After dark.
yeah. It's the
After
well,
hours.
I've got. Sometimes there's too many jokes.
Oh, yeah.
We can't even get them all out.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. This seems, I don't know. I like to be prepared. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I want to be prepared on all the possible questions there will be. So I'm doing research before the committee meeting. At least I have an idea of what I'm going to say or ask. And then I'll ask all those questions before the committee, instead of getting random text message during committee, so I can have my sole focus on what's going on. I don't know. Maybe that's just
the other
me.
argument here is that the
No, yeah, totally.
suffer.
Yeah,
These people are
exactly.
gonna lose their
This
jobs.
may happen.
I'm on the committee. I'm on public policy, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you say to that?
I say to that my clients are brick and mortar casino operators, and they support iGaming because, first and foremost, a lot of the brick and mortar casino companies operate their own mobile or online platforms. So that is good for them. But the other thing that I will say, and secondly, for those that don't, they will be allowed to contract with independent iGaming operators. All iGaming will have to run through our state's brick and mortar casinos, just like sports betting. So they all have to be in partnership.
some very
with
good
one of our state's
talking
brick and
points
mortar
that she
casinos,
got.
which in itself is profitable for our casinos. Secondly, this is a little known industry secret that I've learned in working in the gaming industry. The most valuable tool in the gaming industry for a gaming company is their marketing list, their ability to reach people that maybe they hadn't been able to reach otherwise. And so in partnering with the iGaming companies or operating their own iGaming platform, it allows them to reach people that they may never have reached before with cross-marketing opportunities. So for example, like let's say Hard Rock, in your district, they have somebody now playing on their platform that lives in Southeast Indiana, and they can offer them, oh, you've been a loyal customer, come see a show at our venue.
Yeah.
And that person that lives in Southeast Indiana may never have gone up to Gary, but now they've won this free ticket to a show. They're going to go visit the property. They're going to eat at the restaurants, and they're probably going to do other stuff while they're there in the city.
There's other
So
things to hit, yeah.
that's
How was
you know,
the Wiggles live, by the way?
It
Oh,
was
was
the
it
best
amazing?
ever.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm so
wait, I'm the only one
jealous.
here that doesn't have kids. So
I know,
how did
that's
I end
why I
up
like
at that
to-
show?
And that's why we have
It is-
bags under our
It's
eyes.
strange. It is strange. Yeah.
So since we're less than 2 minutes left in the show, I want to get on to another thing you talked about. You talked about how obviously gaming is a big part of what you do, but you actually also lobby for the education world with the Excel centers, and because I'm on Ways and Means, and we had a marathon recent Ways and Means meeting. Talk to us about that part of it, and about working to make sure that adults, receive an education.
I just thought about this, Corey. I'm like, oh, so what you're saying is these legislators aren't actually smart? Wait a minute. You mean that these legislators I have totally been bamboozled. I was totally under the assumption that these questions that were the legislators were asking were under their own mind. I didn't know that you had lobbyists. I am a little bit naive on that, though.
That was like the best softball because listen, I love gaming and I will advocate through and through
That
for
was
the
a
gaming
deep
industry.
journalistic question.
100% so generalized, but the other half of what I do.
I said journalistic. She said she
Generalized.
just twisted my words.
Yeah, I love it.
That you said general. Journalistic. Also journalistic and generalized,
There
not
you go.
specific at all. But gaming and nonprofits, my two clients, because I just have to make myself feel better on the other side. The Excel Centers, I work with Goodwill. The Excel Centers are adult high schools that Goodwill of Central and Southern Indiana started, and they have now partnered with Goodwill Industries across the entire state to bring these adult high schools. I think we have 26 locations now, all through, funding from Goodwill, but also in partnership with funding from the state legislature. The high schools, I think, are so critical because we have, as you guys have heard probably Governor Holcomb and now Governor Braun say repeatedly, we have a large number of Hoosiers without high school diplomas.
Yeah.
The Excel Centers offer full high school diplomas. So it's not a GED, it's not an equivalency, which there has been shown in data, studies done by the University of Notre Dame, actually, right here in Indiana, that obtaining a full high school diploma versus a GED or an equivalency makes a real impact on people's ability to have meaningful employment and then eventually to get off of public assistance. And so what that study allowed us to see was the actual ROI on the state's investment.
Does anybody in that fucking Statehouse think to themselves, well, maybe they don't want to get off public assistance, or maybe I'm okay with just having the bare minimum. Hey, I'm okay with playing the game.
Because it gave us an actual tangible dollar amount that we can say for every dollar invested into adult education through the Excel Centers, which is a full high school diploma. Here's how much the state is saving on like eventual public assistance, which is super impactful. It's over $20 to one. And so we've graduated thousands of people from the Excel Centers at this point. The one thing to keep in mind is like under the budget structure, which we're getting like kind of technical here, but the budget dictates how many seats they can have at each of their schools. And so strategically to grow or open new schools, they have to come back to the legislature and ask for more seats or more funding to open them. And so we want to continue to serve Hoosiers at the highest level and make sure that ROI is coming back to the state.
Imagine, like, how awesome would it be if you told the legislators your phones have to be in a cubby and they cannot be removed until... Well, then you can just use the tablet that they have.
There was a great story told by a gentleman whose life was off track and he was doing a lot of bad stuff, and how he's gotten life together. He's professional, he's married, kids, law-abiding student. So it was a great example of what the Excel Centers can do.
Oh,
and I want to get real quick, and we're almost out of time, and Blake probably has a question.
I have
too,
one more question.
We'll get to him eventually.
Maybe.
Man, look at Blake in the cuck chair. That is so funny. I mean, that's the same guy that was literally crying during committee too.
Let's talk about that real quick. Is the showing up and presenting in Ways and Means, you as a lobbyist, or registered lobbyist, and the people that you represent.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Absolutely. So that is like testifying in committee is always like a really big balance for me. I think there are a lot of times when people are just snap like, oh yeah, we need to testify. I think about it first. First and foremost, I always like to have my clients there to testify instead of me doing it for them if I can help it. Like, they are the ones to tell their stories. I always say that to my clients. Like, I want to be there when you can't be there, but like if I can help my clients make relationships with
I should
you
have
guys,
ordered
like,
a pizza.
that is the best thing that can happen because they are the experts, and I want them to have access to you, but I want you guys to have access to them too because like they have the real day-to-day knowledge. Testifying though for me is like always, are we going to really accomplish something with the testimony? Or like, is this just for show? Now with like the budget, for example, the budget this year, I don't know if you guys knew this, kind of unique budget year in Indiana. I'm just here trying to give the state hundreds of millions of dollars to iGaming, but I'm just saying, kind of a unique budget.
Oh, we just wanted to throw another vice on the backs of everybody else. Jesse Brown has Blake's whole job. Yeah, he was city councilor, then moved to state rep.
Here.
And that's a lobbyist.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he was also part of that group of people. Blake was to get Giacomo's under pressure to change their position on the blue line. There's a picture with him, Jesse, and the rest of the communists.
I'm just out here trying to give you guys that anyway.
Just trying to get more
because of
addiction.
the uniqueness, I did want them to come and testify and just kind of present their ask and like let the whole committee know the good work that they're doing in the state of Indiana. Because like I work with you a lot on it. You know about the Excel centers. You guys both have them in your districts, but everybody else might not. And so I just wanted them to have exposure to that. And just like I said before, like I want to make it easy for you guys to vote yes on something when I know how great it is. But like you guys have a million people meeting with you every day. Like I know how awesome my client is. I know they deserve that funding. But like you're meeting with 20 other people during the day that think the same thing about their clients. And so that's the importance of it to me.
It's interesting, we talk about wanting to kind of peel back the curtain a little bit in the legislature, and the precision of testimony is like a really interesting thing that we could probably spend an entire episode on. Just sometimes not testifying is the better move.
100%.
And if you have the wrong person testify, it can really hurt you
100%.
as well. Like I've been in committee hearings where
we have seen that.
the wrong person gets up and they do not stick to the script. So I think of a lobbyist or even an advocacy group is thinking, okay, just more people testifying is the solution.
Just get all the people.
More.
We saw
like
that
it's
yesterday.
almost never. That's almost never the right move.
No.
Especially not when you're dealing with a supermajority, right?
No.
Like so if you're on the opposite side of that, precise testimony, constructed arguments is far more effective, and you can win. You can actually win in that circumstance if you're smart about it. My final question for you, Allie, is that.
Wait, I need to add something in. No, sorry. Go ahead.
That's actually
that's the part that nobody talks about, Corey. Is that exactly? Oh, we have all these problems after we brought in all this money. Now we have to find a way to fix them. Holy shit! These people are so short-sighted.
Pretty good.
Oh, by the way, we'll also have to raise taxes so we can have that that new social service too, because the revenue that we're bringing in. This was like the whole weed thing that I was bringing up a while back. It was like, all right, if you legalize weed, you have to find a way to regulate it. How much money will it take to regulate it? And then you'll have to have some kind of addiction program after that. So how much money are you actually bringing in? And then let's not forget about the car accidents that you'll get. And most of these people that are doing it probably don't have car insurance or some hospital health insurance. So now that the taxpayers have to pay the hospitals because they don't have health insurance, I'm like, or you could just not do it. There's an idea. Maybe just not do it. Then you don't even have to worry about all these problems.
Do I really do that? So
he actually asked that question.
One of the things that it was kind of alluded to earlier is that you also do commentary. Like you are on TV representing a Republican agenda, and
which is not as fun as this show.
No, I mean this is
pinnacle,
highbrow. This is really highbrow stuff. So. I think
is that because you're wearing new shoes today?
I am wearing.
Oh, you did get the new shoes.
I got the new shoes.
It. I was totally gonna do that.
Yeah,
shout out
Mitch
to Representative Mitch Gore.
That's right, Mitch Gore got me.
And your
shoes.
socks. I mean,
think
those
we're
are.
In his district right now.
So my question is really that the divisions are growing larger. It seems the extremes are getting louder, and I'll say that on both sides.
100%.
I think your side's a little crazier, but
how did I know?
But you're out there, and oftentimes you are trumpeting.
Did you need to say it like that?
I guess an argument, and you're on TV, and I think people see the media as a really big problem and building this divide. And you'll be on TV sometimes, and I'll send you a message. I'm like, what is that? What are you doing? Like, do you really believe this? I don't understand. But so I guess I would have you just speak to that. Like, you're a thoughtful person. You care about smart public policy, but you also do this other role.
No, she doesn't.
As creating greater divides.
I would debate all these three people at the same time and win. By the way, because none of what they're talking about is good for the future.
How do you sleep?
These people are all vultures. They're all snakes.
I actually think it's a really good question, and you're right. Like,
she sleeps in her $500,000 home.
I believe in a variety of viewpoints, and my first priority always is good public policy, and I think that with my clients. I think that personally.
She doesn't.
And I have a lot of friends on both sides of the aisle, as you guys know, and they all line up to say, what the hell are you talking about all the time, which is amazing. What I try to do, and the reason I continue to be a part of that type of commentary. Now, not to say that I am not guilty of trumpeting talking points, because we are all guilty of that. I absolutely do it. What I try to do is bring at least a little bit of perspective to some of the issues when I'm talking about
Sanity?
them. Sanity, maybe not as boldly as I would like if I had, an hour to talk about it every day.
Oh, that
but
is so funny. Allie Bartlett took her Twitter account away. That is so funny. Jake Teshka, you motherfucker. Yeah. All right. Yep. Yeah, Ellie Page, her Twitter account is officially gone now. That is so funny.
I have these little 30-second news clips that come out most of the time, or 3 minutes max, like when I'm on some of the indie news shows. But what I try to do is whenever I'm having these, because they're always in a debate format most of the time.
Yeah.
I want to be diplomatic always. I was actually just telling
Sorry,
I have
$534,000.
a news segment this afternoon on Wish TV, and I'm always paired up with the same Democratic person on the other side. Shout out to Dana Black. And it's so funny because we are very good friends, me and Dana, and we are always talking and laughing. And
Dana Black is extremely left too. She actually calls I think she has a podcast called Hard Left.
we're having camaraderie.
And, it always worries me when you're like, oh yeah, but I'm friends with them. Why would I be with friends who put me against the wall? Are you fucking crazy?
We can go head to head when we're on our show, but after the show, we go and actually talk about the issues and our true beliefs. And I don't think we don't reflect our true beliefs on the show, but we also only have 3 minutes, and so we can only.
So
say
you're
so
fake.
much.
Nuance, yeah.
What I think I like to do with those things is if you follow me on social media or whatever, I try to post them and then post additional thoughts, and try to just use it as a conversation starter, if nothing else. You are 100% correct that media is drawing so much divisiveness in this country right now. I think the best thing that we can all do is engage in the conversations with our friends, engage in the conversations with our families and communities, and be real people, because the media is not real. It's none of that is real. And they are, and even when you are real, even when you're a part of the media and you're trying to be real, it's 3 minutes. You cannot accurately reflect realness and your real thoughts and feelings in 3 minutes. What I hope it does is that it starts conversations where people can be real with each other. I think that's the only way we move forward as a country. We have got to get back to a sane middle ground. I'm going to say it. You heard it here first. Here's your hot take from this podcast. The middle is better. Let's all move that way.
There's our real clip. For
100%.
Right.
And there you go.
All right, I think you close us out today.
Yes,
because I've talked too much.
Thank you for allowing me to close out the show that I started. Allie Bartlett, this has been a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to this. I'm so glad you lobbied us.
I'm
to be
so
on the
glad I
show.
could lobby so hard to get myself on this show.
She is not being paid for her time on the show.
No, she's not.
No one is being compensated here.
And you know what's going to happen is she's going to lobby us next month to be back on the show. And we'll say,
why
yeah.
just add another chair?
Add another
Add
chair.
another chair.
Yeah.
I think you need a third host.
Yeah.
I
you
think
need
we
a
could
woman.
squeeze it in
And
the show.
we'd be super majority.
Are we like
Democrat?
majority
Yeah,
Democrat
there you go.
episodes. Yeah.
I think
we
that'd
don't
be
know what
great.
that's like.
Do we need a couch? We need a couch.
We need a couch.
And like coffee.
And you need a
Blake will
woman
be in the
anyways.
cuck chair for
and then
sure.
we go to a warmer lighting setup. I mean, the whole thing.
Guys,
We'll just
like,
go-
comment, subscribe, and if you're in your comments, let them know if I should be a permanent host.
All
We
right.
needed some other more
Yeah,
diversity on the show.
great.
Exactly.
Thank you for
This
providing
is how you psy up people too. It's oh well, she's a Republican, so therefore, she's a friendly. Actually, she's not a friendly. She's the enemy, 100% the enemy. All three of these people right here, they are the enemy, and you should never trust them.
That's
I
right.
got you.
I won't even go there.
They will also lose in a debate.
Anyway,
against
thank
me.
you for
Let's
being
not go there.
on the show. We have been joined today by the wonderful Allie Bartlett. She is with Bose Public Affairs Group. She is a registered lobbyist and has given us some more in-depth into what happens at the Statehouse on the side of the lobbying part in terms of talking to us legislators about getting bills passed or, and sometimes, also stopping bills. So thanks for joining us again. We appreciate it. Tune in next time. Have a good day.
See ya.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right. Well, I'm gonna. Indiana's. Hold on, one real quick. Indiana's immigrant students still have a right to a free education. It's not free. There we go. And I guarantee you, Blake Johnson, Earl Harris, and probably even Allie Bartlett would be like, "Oh, but it is free." Okay, so. All right. Well, now if this is a problem. Allie Miranda, is that what her name is? Well, her Twitter name was Allie Page, and if you still her search thing shows up too, but it's fine though. She's the enemy, so it really doesn't matter. Very, very funny. We're going to start some shit with Corey Wood, too, in case you didn't know. He is an establishment Republican, like most of them are. Hypothetical. Hold on. Real quick. So here's another enemy right here is Corey Wood. This guy is the enemy. Right here. Never forget that guy. Joel McHale from Timu. Yeah. Blake Johnson. Yeah. Ah, crap. 1 second. One second. I want to make sure that I get this before I forget. Okay, there we go. Okay. That was easy enough. All right, I'm hungry. I'm going to try and order up a pie if anybody's open still. And make sure you go after Corey Wood. Corey, K-O-R-Y-R Wood. He is a Republican consultant. He is a Holcomb Republican. Obviously, Carmel. Works for some strategic joint. I'm going to follow now and then make sure that everybody on the about is officially an enemy of mine. About us. Michael Biondo. Okay, so these are all enemies of all of them are an enemy to us. So they're at least an enemy to me. You could do, oh, Mark Warner. Mark Warner. Oh, interesting. This guy was the Republican of the week. Hold on. I think this guy was the Republican of the week the other day. Yep, there he is, Mark Warner. Ah, okay, so they're all enemies. They're all my enemy. This guy. That guy's our enemy. Or at least my enemy. You guys can do whatever you want. But another consulting group that just want to rape and pillage all of us so they can make their millions of dollars. We gotta find out if I'll have to do it afterwards. After this is over. All right, so make sure Tuesday, I'll have the link up on the Whitty Review channel. Make sure you follow, make sure you like and subscribe. Put the notification bell on there for when we go live. 8 o'clock sharp on Tuesday. And then next Saturday, I'll have the next one. I don't know. We're doing another movie night. I don't know. Hey, if since all of them, if you guys want to message me, just message Indie Reporter. Message Indie Reporter and tell me what you would like to do for movie night. Just to let you know. Because you know, that whole schizophrenic thing did not work out as well as I thought it would. We could do whatever, you know. I mean, obviously, the shorter the better because there's always stuff to talk about. But I think this is also, isn't it the last week? Or yeah, I think the 20th is the last day, and then they have a week off in the Statehouse, and everything gets switched over from the House to the Senate, and the other way around. And then we get to find out, well, what will actually get through. So that's it. That's all I got. Questions? Just message Indie Reporter. Some of you guys have my phone number too, so just text me. Some of you got my card. Some of you have my phone number. If not, just message Indie Reporter or message King of Whitties is fine. Either one is fine. Because the messages will get back to me in Indie Reporter. King of Whitties will get messaged to me right away. Since I have that on my person